The old ways, the old gods, the old powers are buried, but not gone. Because every world, every civilization is built on the corpse of the old world. Because law, like every other spell, is empty words until empowered by the shedding of blood. So every regime is built on murder. Put green hills and sunny skies out of your mind. Where we're going, the sun has not shone for thousands of years. Fragments of strange lights crawl across the stone sky and through the black ocean. All of the open spaces of this land are crowded with horrors and tortured spirits fighting each other over the least scrap of living essence. It's a Hieronymus Bosch painting out there. But the throng balks. Before them, a ring of lightning barriers, each tall tower crackling with electroplasmic discharge, and they cannot pass into the city within. Stone towers, crowded wooden tenements, creaking docks, cobblestone streets and canals lit by flickering electrical light. In Duskwall, there is something like dawn and something like twilight, but they only serve to make the shadows seem darker. The scrabble for survival here is not easy, and some residents finding themselves pushed too far, chased into a dead end by oppressors of all kinds, stop and turn and clench their fists and strike back. This is the story of one such crew. This is Down to a Sunless Sea, a Blades in the Dark adventure from the Starfall Collective.
Two canals meet and cross each other in the haunted city of Duskwall, one running north-south, the other east-west. The districts surrounding this crossroads are Crow's Foot to the southwest, the Docks to the northwest, Brightstone to the northeast, and Charter Hall to the southeast. It is proximity to the Docks and Crow's Foot that makes this the northwest corner of Charter Hall, one of the poorer yet busier neighborhoods. And here it is, situated on a street with easy access to the bridge to Crow's Foot, and from there to the docks, that we see the Queen's Flank. To an outside observer, little has changed between yesterday and today about this small local butcher shop. But an outside observer can't see all the human bodies suspended from meat hooks in the cellar below. The morning's housewives and servants come to purchase cuts of goat and pork for their households, see only a clean swept shop floor, dented but serviceable counters, and a different cast of employees than they would have seen yesterday. Because the Queen's Flank is now the possession of Farkash Renye, the wolves. Welcome. Last episode, the crew seized what's called a claim and are now the owners of a small butcher shop in Charter Hall. This is not turf. They do still have to pay to operate as a criminal enterprise. They're on somebody else's turf, but it does give them a benefit, and the benefit is -2 heat per score, because you're able to launch your your nasty doings from this legitimate looking shop.
Right.
So it's and you can do things like launder money, launder bodies.
I was just gonna say bodies. At this point,
Dude.
at least Arva and Kel are really appreciating the fringe benefits of being able to move flesh incognito.
Completely normal to have a bunch of knives around when you're butchers. So this was a great move for the team, and I think that also our boys Kel and
Arva.
Kel and Arva were able to get some murdering out of their system. But it's a new day. The crew needs another score. You can't rest on your laurels forever, and some coin would certainly go a long way at this point. Probably, I can give you guys some hooks if you want, but also if you have any ideas. This is a much more collaborative game than D&D, and I think it's best when the crew comes up with an idea for what kind of score you would want to do.
Excellent. So I think Kel and it's Elena, right? Elena.
Yep.
Very good. So how are you feeling, Dave? Where do you think the camera jams in on Kel and Elena? Are we at the butcher shop? Are we walking around in the moors and fens just outside of town?
I think we're at the butcher shop, and I think Elena is just kind of like, this is like her first time here. She just heard, you've been filling her in on the last job. I don't know. She just kind of disappeared for a while, so you couldn't find her. And now she's back, and she's like, this is nice. And pretending not to be impressed, but if you're paying close attention, she seems a little jealous that she didn't get to go along.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was a lot of screaming. We made like a kill shoot at one point where we like ran them all into this little narrow area between the butcher's case and a table we pushed over, and it was like clubbing baby seals in the bottom of a boat. I mean, it was amazing. It was so much. You really should have been there. You need to stick around more. Where did you go? Why weren't you with us? Why did you leave so sudden?
Why didn't you wait for me?
Well, I mean, it was like a time sensitive kind of thing. If we'd waited, we could have like missed the opportunity. So, but it's okay. I mean, like, just maybe like next time check out the link in the packet to the calendar where you put in the PTO for the time off and stuff. Like, I'm just kidding. Kill people for fun. We don't have PTO. No. I'm kind of bored though. I kind of want to do that again.
She grunts.
It's like fun when you do it, but in the moment you stop, it's like not fun anymore. It's terrible. So we need.
Then
I
why
think we
do
need
you
some more.
stop?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the point that I was trying to make. You can't take my point. So we need like more territory. We need more money. We need weapons.
Why are we talking?
Well, because we have to like.
Yep. You sound like Yappy Dog.
Because hey. He like walks over and like points his finger in front of her, and I'm sure she like growls or something. He like yanks his finger back. Okay, we need to like be smart though.
What am I doing here? Shall I go elsewhere so that you can? Why are you even paying me?
Wait, well, because I need your help, frankly.
Yes. Well, here I am.
We've taken a little bit.
How can I help you?
Well, we've taken a little bit of. We've taken a little bit of territory. We've made a little bit of an enemy. Personally, I would love to take some more territory. Maybe pick up another little piece of the pie next door. We've got our eyes on a couple of adjacent blocks. We could always use some more thugs, some more underlings, that kind of thing. So just any opportunity to get for Kashkrinye, really to cover the map. That's my dream. That's what I think about when I lay in bed at night.
Hmm. Who is next big dog on the ladder?
Do we have like a whiteboard or a cork board with a bunch
Yeah,
of faces and red yarn?
Yeah, you can get a whiteboard up.
Who did we just which group did we just hit?
It was the bill hooks.
The bill hooks. Okay, so
Yeah.
Elena, goes over to the board and she's kind of looking at the different, figures in the, in the bill hook organization, and she says, when a wolf is hunting, and they have caught their quarry, they do not just take one bite and walk away. You sink in your teeth and you do not let go. And then she points to, I don't know, like maybe like, I don't know, like the next some, probably not. I mean, like we're kind of working our way up the ladder, but she points to, maybe like the head of a small, crew in the neighborhood or something like that. She points to him and says, "That one."
So that would probably be a fellow named Corin, a red-haired gentleman who the guys encountered last time, and who escaped with his life, but did sort of see them at the beginning of the score. And
she turns to Cal and says, "You said that one got away, right?"
Yeah, we'll let one get away on purpose to make sure that word got out, firsthand and everything. It's no good.
If you remember, this is one that you scared with a ghost.
Oh,
and
that's
fled
right.
at the beginning.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
So she says, "Well, has he done his job?"
Oh yeah, I mean, like he told people about us, and like our reputation went up, and people are more scared of us, and all those good things.
Well, let us give him another job then, shall we?
You want to re-terrify the same guy? Oh, he's gonna need a lot of therapy. This is fun.
Oh no, terrify? He's already done his work there. Let us make an example of him.
Oh, I like this. By the way, this is...
He thought he had escaped us. They thought he had escaped us. They were wrong.
I like the mess.
Yeah. We are on the hunt. When we catch the quarry in the jaws, we do not let go.
So something to know about the rules. I love this idea of going after, tying up this loose thread. And you could make this an assassination and also a way to seize turf, by killing Corin and scattering his crew from something that they hold. That could be turf for you. So that's completely legitimate within the rules. But I do want you to know that if you do that again, if you seize another claim from the bill hooks, that will put you at -3 status with them, which will put you at war. And when you're at war, there are some extra rules that come into play. You get less downtime, and like basically that's the thing that you have to deal with. You can go on other scores, but it becomes an urgent matter to deal with being at war with another crew. The main mechanical thing is you only get one downtime each during
Okay.
downtime if you're at war.
Okay.
So if you do this, there will be consequences in the rules, but you can totally do it.
Okay. So I think Kel would say to Anya, Elena would say to Elena, this is excellent. Hey, this is the right instinct. This is exactly what I want this head to be, right? The only issue is Arvan is on his vacation right now, and I don't really want to, like, fully pick the fight, kick the anthill without Arvan around, just because there's so many things he's really good at that I am not, and vice versa, of course. But synergy is really what makes this teamwork, this dream work with the teamwork. So I think we should maybe wait for Arvin and maybe like heat up some other priorities, tie up other loose ends. By the way, Matt, could you tell us just like real quick, 1 or 2 sentence, what your hooks are that you've got, and maybe Dave and I can work where our characters
So
are at in
sure.
the conversation in that direction.
So I was thinking that there's when you go back to the burned out mansion in Six Towers, you might find a note from Lady Iramina,
Okay.
asking for a meeting.
Okay.
And then I think also that over the course of the day, you see that there are some tough-looking characters in Sparkright's uniforms that have been hanging out sort of near the Queen's flank, just sort of watching what's going on.
Okay.
Elena kind of scowls and it's kind of quiet for a bit. And finally she says, yes, well, you are big, tough, head of wolf pack. You are boss. You know what is best.
I appreciate that. Honestly, I'm not trying to run all this on that kind of, like A-type machismo kind of energy, but it just seems to be happening,
Well,
so I'm not gonna turn it down.
Head of Wolfpack. Head of
Right.
Wolfpack must be strong.
That's
must
right.
Hold Wolfpack together.
Yep.
Do not want wolves go scatter all over the city. Maybe go to other wolf packs. That would not.
You're saying that, but I'm a little conflicted because there are some things about wolves filling a city that are very exciting. Actually, that's a pretty cool idea.
Well,
but okay, you're right. I mean, there's downsides too.
Her eyes suddenly light up at that mention, and she says, "We could arrange that."
I think Kel runs over to the whiteboard and just writes down "Wolf City?" And then goes and looks out the window at the Sparkrights and says, I think there's a little bit of heat on us right now. So we've got the lady asking for a little bit of our time, the Sparkrights watching us like hawks. Maybe we should ditch these guys, let them watch a quiet shop for a few days, let things get a little quiet, go see what Lady Irminen wants, and keep our patroness happy for now, seeing as how she is feeding us jobs.
I think I just rolled some dice to see if this would happen, and I think that no, never mind. You know what? That can be something else.
Okay,
go on. Cool. So you wanna meet with Lady Iramina?
I think so. I mean, if Lady Iramina is asking to see us, she's somebody who is useful to the organization for now. So, I would, one of the things that wolves do is they just kind of run around the edge of their territory and make sure that the edge of their territory is secure. I would consider this to be, keeping up with the health of our territory, seeing as how Lady Iramina is kind of one of those resources that we draw from. So Kel just wants to tend to that and keep that relationship good.
Okay. Yeah. So, Dave, did you have something?
Are we, just a real quick check, are we doing XP as we go, or are we doing that at the end?
That happens at the end of the score.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Yeah, and your character was not in the last score, so you didn't get any XP
Right.
or downtime.
Yeah.
For that.
Gotcha.
Give me just 1 second. I'm going to kick the dogs out. They're starting to play fight.
Cool.
All right, punch it.
So Lady Iramina's office is in the same place where your butcher shop is, Charter Hall. And it's not incredibly posh, but it is fancy. It is well appointed, and it's on the upper floor of a building made of wood and stone. And you make your way there, up some stairs. You do get a few looks because you're not obviously bureaucrats like everybody else in this building. But this is the city council has all sorts of people in and out all day, so it's not incredibly abnormal to see tough looking people in here. You make your way to Lady Iramina's office. And she sends her secretary out, Shu, so that the three of you can be alone. And she says, I wanted to say to you a very good job on the this last job. I appreciate it.
Yes, very, very good job, big boss. Well, very good job.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure doing business with you, my lady.
I don't, man, this is a place where in Dungeons and Dragons, I would ask for a roll. But you know what? The way we do it in Blades in the Dark is I tell you, seems like she might be keeping something from you. Is there any way that you are interested in addressing this challenge or not if you don't want to?
I think at this point, I think that Kel wants to kind of show his hand a little bit and kind of get a read on okay, so she's keeping something from us. I think Kel would want to try to convey to her how what they've just accomplished is a sign of things to come, and that they're going to become progressively more powerful and reliable and effective for her, and try to
so the
basically
verb used
engender.
Was impress upon.
Yeah.
That sounds like either consort, or sway.
Right. Yeah. Let me
so this role is going to be limited effect, and it is there's no risk involved. It's controlled. So controlled situation, limited effect.
Okay. I think Kel would like to possibly trade a little bit of position and effect and kind of press her a little bit, maybe.
Okay. So risky position and normal effect.
Yes.
Standard effect.
Correct. And I think that he would like to push himself in this moment because this is very important.
We're in free play now. We're not even in a score. You can push yourself if you want.
Yeah, because I think he really doesn't want this relationship with her to. Well, okay, yeah, we'll see. We'll just let the chips fall as they may. Let's see here. That means that I get 2d6.
Yeah, risky standard. 2d6 if to consort.
Okay. I got a 6 and a 6. Jeez.
Okay. Okay, so actually what 2 6s does is it pushes you from standard effect to great effect.
Okay.
So you come in and she's congratulating you on how well the last the last score went. Not the one with the butcher shop, but the one that she asked you to do. If you recall, the episode 1 where we killed a Sparkwright and put his body in the thing, and she says, "Wow, I have to give you extra." Okay, so she's saying, and in a position like mine, it's I have a lot of different threads to keep track of. I have a finger in this pot over here and a finger in this pot over here, and it's really it's quite nice. If you have subordinates or if you have contractors like yourselves who are able to take on jobs at a moment's notice and complete them so effectively and quietly, and so that the rumors of it don't even reach me and come to me. If it's possible sometimes to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And I can. It's exceptionally interesting work that I have here, and I just appreciate that quality that you have of the silence and the quietness of it. Keeping it under the table allows me to manipulate various other elements on the chessboard of the city and accomplish multiple different goals at once. And so that's and actually I have a job much like that in mind for you today. And if you remember, you heard some rumors after that first job, after the Sparkwright job, that something else had gone down at that same tower just after you left. Or it must have been either just after you left or while you were there. Something else was going on there. You heard about it after the fact, only a couple days later. So I think this is where you sort of make your role to consort with her, try and butter her up, try to get her to let slip what that was successfully.
Gotcha.
Do you want to act that out? You don't have to.
Yeah. Lady Irmina, when last we were at the refinement tower, after the job, we caught wind of other events at the tower. Things happened that we were not responsible for. I'm curious, do you have any information, any intel on other actors on the job? Did you have another team? Was there some sort of retaliation?
Listen, you've got me hot, guilty. She's sort of thrilled that you picked up on her clever schemes. She actually goes. Great effect. It's great effect. So she goes. She actually goes to a closet. She says, "Now don't peek." And she opens this door and looks in, and you hear some.
I'm gonna peek.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Elena conspicuously follows her.
Oh, conspicuously?
Yeah, not really trying to hide it.
Oh, in that case, she shuts us and says, if you're going to be so rude, I won't show you."
No. Kel steps forward and
Elena gives her a wolf grin.
She gives you a patrician, city councilwoman smirk.
Kel puts his arm around Elena, and the two of them turn their back to the closet.
You hear some clicks and some sliding of wood, and maybe a hint of well-oiled hinges. And then she closes the closet. You turn around, and she is holding. It looks like a metal rod with inscriptions on it and stuff, and a like a bone, like a knuckle bone on the end of it, and it's just like radiating. You can sense in the ghost field that it has some sort of electroplasmic potency, like coming off of it. And she says, "Yes, they had this incredibly interesting ancient demonic relic tucked away. I think even the Sparkrights had forgotten that it was there, but I was able to ferret out where it was, and you provided the perfect distraction, and now it is in my possession. And the Sparkrights are going to pay me handsomely for the principles of nature and science that this artifact will reveal once it goes into their laboratories." She quickly puts it away again. Click, 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 boom. She says, "Now, playtime is over. We have work to do." And she tells you that there is, she is having some trouble. And this is not in Charter Hall, but this is actually in Crow's Foot. And the city has has firefighters. They're called the Brigade, and Crow's Foot here. So, and there is actually some union trouble. There are some of the brigade in Crow's Foot are talking about this crazy idea, absolutely insane, that they would go on strike if they don't get better pay from the city. And there's this particular agitator named Lem Bergeron. I just made that up. Help me out creating the character of Lem.
Lem has a limp, for sure.
Okay.
Kind of a slight face, a puckered scar on one cheek.
Okay. Something about his character.
He's a little twitchy and distrustful.
Great. So she says, she gives you an address where you can find Lem. And she says, this man.
Oh, wait, Matt, I'm so sorry. You said character. He's very generous and likes to give away money to people, especially scary looking people. That's what I meant to say. I'm so sorry.
Ones he's never met before.
She says, this, he's not prepared for anything like what you are. This will be easy for you, in and out. For people with skills such as yours, this would be no problem. So I'm prepared to pay you 4 coin to eliminate this man permanently.
4 coins for the job. I take it. This seems fair. This seems fair to me. Do you have dossier information and address?
Are you running any other side jobs while we do this? Are we distraction again?
Oh, that's for me to know, and you to never find out.
Yeah, we found out about the last one.
I told you, it was fun. There's nothing you can do.
5 coin. So you can
Let's-
run whatever side jobs you want off of our extra effort.
And if I tell you 3 coin for trying to negotiate with me?
Oh, my lady
Then you
Romina.
Then
My
you
lady
won't-
Romina. Why would you want to do business with those who have so little ambition as to not even negotiate? You're a businesswoman, are you not?
I am indeed, and I'm capable of negotiating as well. 3 now.
I say we walk.
Have fun. I can find somebody else.
I think, Elena, 4 coins is a very fair number of coins to give us for a job. Lady Romina, 4 coins
No.
is fine.
I think 3, and you can go now. I'm done.
Can I try to sway her to come back to 4 and job on?
Yeah, you can. That's going to be that is going to be a sway roll, and it's going to be controlled and standard effect.
Okay. Let's see here. So this is okay. So that's just 1d6 to try to sway her back into giving us the job.
Yep, but it's controlled. There's no risk as of yet.
Okay. Can well, okay. All right, let's just roll it and see what happens. 5.
Okay.
Okay.
She says, "Okay, yes, I will. Since you insist, you did do such good work for me. I think I can see my way to 4, but I expect there to be no complications. If there are any difficulties, like for instance, if there are stories that random ghosts have been appearing in the location nearby, I will not hesitate to turn you over to the proper authorities." So what she's telling you is that this is the consequence. So a 5 is a mixed success, which means you get what you want, but there's a consequence. So the consequence is she's telling you, someday we're going to be able to play this game, and you're going to be able to tell when I'm giving you a consequence for the roll.
Sure.
But now
sure.
I'm just letting you know
Telling.
that something in the rules is happening. I'm not just acting. This is a rules thing. This is called
Sure.
a consequence. And the consequence is that she is going to give you extra heat. You're going to get extra heat if there's any public display of ghostly stuff during this score.
Okay. Sounds good.
And like all consequences, this can be resisted.
Oh, that's right.
That's why
Yeah.
I'm pointing out to you, like, this is
Yes.
a consequence.
I think I am going to attempt to resist that consequence because Cal knows that he wants to be able to use his ghostly powers.
So, yeah, this is going to be 4 die, and whatever your highest thing is, subtract that from 6, and that's how much stress you take.
Okay, so my highest number was a 4, so I take 2 stress.
You're going to take 2 stress, and that never happened. So you sway her, and she agrees to 4 coin, and then you're on your way.
Okay. So this guy,
Lem Bergeron.
Lim Bergeron.
Lem Bergeron lives in
Crow's Foot.
Crow's Foot, and he's not a highly placed member of the brigade in Crow's Foot. He's not like the chief of the firehouse or anything like that. He's trying to, you got the idea, he's trying to like climb the ranks by being able to threaten unionization. There are, just so you understand, there are no unions in the
Blades
brigade.
In Duskfall.
I think that some of the criminal syndicates and some of the organizations are pretty close to being unionized. There's not a huge difference between like a union and a guild. Like the Sparkrights have an enormous amount of power because they could just turn off the
Right.
lightning towers.
Right.
So like, what's the difference between that and a union anyway? But like something like the brigade, because it's they're in among the people. There hasn't been anything like unionization. They have never refused to do their job, and this is sort of an unprecedented new type of thinking that this guy is doing, and Lady Iramina wishes to quash it post haste.
Okay, so so Lady Irmina wants to quash the firemen's protest post haste, and this guy Lim is one of the organizers.
No, Lem, it's not a protest, or I mean, I guess you can call it a protest, but he is trying to organize the firefighters in Crow's Foot to be able to negotiate better wages with the city.
Right. Hence the the flavor art of the gritty firefighters protesting in the street. Right. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
There have not been any like demonstrations. There aren't really demonstrations in Dustwall. Political protest is not so much a thing. But this thing has gone far enough. His unionization effort has gone far enough that that Lady Iramina was scared enough of it to ask you to eliminate him.
Very
But
good.
your job is not to stop. Your job is not to stop this union. You're not union busters. You're assassins.
Yes.
However,
We're permanently
for a
get rid of-
score, you can choose. You can choose whatever kind of plan you want: assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, or transport.
I mean, assault is pretty great.
She told us to get rid of him.
Yeah, I mean
I think okay, so like any plan that doesn't end with this dude in the ground, Elena's probably not going to go for.
Right, but so
Ooh, wait
so
a minute.
the so one thing I should tell you is just because it's an assassination does not mean you have to pick assault. This only tells us how the score begins. So for instance, deception is lure, trick, or manipulate. If you guys were going to, like, for instance, get brigade outfits, like
or like
disguise yourselves as firemen
pull him into
and
an
trick your way
ambush or
in.
something.
Yeah, that would be deception. That wouldn't.
Mm.
If you're gonna run up to the firehouse, guns blazing with bats and knives, and just attack this guy, that's assault. But if you're going to sneak in, it's probably stealth. If you're going to trick him somehow into a situation where you can kill him, that's something else. If your plan is primarily to use ghosts to do it, that's occult. There's also social, for if you're going to bargain or persuade in some way to do it. And transport is also quite possible for
Kidnapping.
yeah, like if you're going to like snatch him on his way somewhere and then take him somewhere to kill him, that might be transport.
I like
Right.
that. I like that.
Another thing to know, which is a rule that we haven't done up to this point, which we should have done, which is that if the score takes place in your hunting ground, you guys get one downtime activity to set up for it, which is usually going to be acquire an asset.
Okay.
So if you can find a way to do so, I'm just saying all this stuff so you know that, like, because the last score that you did was assault. Just because you're assassins does not mean that every score has to be assault. And there's lots and lots of options, and you guys should come up with a way to do this score that will be fun and creative and won't just be rolling dice to see how hard you hit people.
Sure. So I like the idea of trying to either snatch this guy in transit and then, like, disappear into a side act, like, camouflage, or drop down a tunnel, or we've hired some sort of hot air balloon to show up, and we, like, hook ourselves in, and something like that, so that transport thing is cool. Luring him somewhere, like doing some setup to get him to come to us, to a third look. Obviously, we're not going to bring him to our place, but getting him to show up at a place where he believes he's going to have a meeting. Yep.
On our hunting ground, maybe.
Yeah. Get him to come to us.
Okay.
Bait him into our hunting ground. I mean, we're in Charter Hall, so there's got to be official business.
Right.
Might pull a.
Okay, I like this. Official business. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you do it in Charter Hall, then I can grant you a downtime activity to use for this. And the one that would usually be used in this case would be acquire asset. So this is a temporary asset, and it's things like a person to help you with something. So since you are crew 0, you're not going to get very high. You're probably going to get tier 0 assets to help you with stuff. But an asset can be something like, just to throw out some examples, like an invitation to a meeting.
Yeah, I was thinking, or somebody in the office of someone.
Somebody in the office, exactly.
Yeah,
yeah.
Who can make the call, and so they'll see it's somebody they'll see the phone number, or whatever, not the phone number, but they'll receive the message through the letterhead. They'll receive the message through official channels, and he'll be more likely to show up to the meeting. Yeah.
Okay. So roll me 2 d6s to acquire this asset, and give me the lower number because you're tier 0. That's how you roll your tier.
Okay. What kind of roll is this? This is not an ability roll. This is just a straight up. Okay.
Yep. This is not. So this is a special kind of roll. Most rolls I will have to don't roll it until I tell you. So sorry. For most rolls, don't roll it until I tell you the position and the effect level. But this is not that kind of roll. This is like a downtime roll. We're just seeing whether it's bad or medium or good.
So it's just a roll 2d6 and tell you the lower number?
Yep.
2.
Yeah. So the person that you find, you go around to the head brigade office in Charter Hall, and the only person you can get to speak to you is like a janitor, not somebody with any authority.
Sure.
But
he's got keys to the building. He's got keys to the building.
He's got keys to the building. Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
But so you are able to, by paying him or by offering him free meat from the butcher shop or something trivial, something that's trivial to you like that, not coin.
Sure.
You can get this. You get this guy on your side. We need to come up with who this person is. Who's your asset? I think.
Rule. Roared. Trins.
Roared Chumber.
Roared Chumber. I like that.
Roared Chumber is a central brigade office janitor. Tier 0. And he has a long mustache. And let's say, Dave, come up with a descriptor for Roared Chunder.
He's
any one thing.
He's very tall.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. So this guy is like, he looks like one of his brooms hold a broom upside down for the or a mop upside down for the mustache, and this guy can hide behind it.
His hair is kind of
he looks
over the place.
Yeah, he looks like a mop. And he's like, hey, yeah, guys, what do you want? Yeah, I can help you with your cool stuff.
Roared, listen, I know how much you love the smoked meats, and I've got this whole cooler, full of the smoked meats.
Oh, that'd be great.
And all you gotta do for this, my friend, is just get me a little bit of the letterhead off of a desk.
Okay, so we're gonna do the thing now where we cut to the action. And before we actually do any score stuff, so you've got that guy in your back pocket. Pull out whenever you need him. And the next thing that we do is we determine the type of score, the plan: assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, or transport. What do you think it is? So this seems like it might be deception. For deception, we pick. So for each of these things, we have to pick a detail about it. So for transport, it's the route and means. And for deception, it's the method of deception. For stealth, it's the point of infiltration. For assault, it's the point of attack. So which do you think it is?
Dave, what do you think?
I mean, I guess it sounds like we're going with deception, and the method of deception is like how we bait him into coming to this fake meeting.
Cool. Yeah. The description of deception is lure, trick, or manipulate. And this is absolutely lure.
Yeah.
Cool. So both of you guys pick your loadout, light, normal, or heavy. Mark that on your sheet if you would, please. Also, keep in mind that you get +2 to this because of your assassin's rigging. So you guys have never used your full load in a score yet.
So this is a great time to go in light and then run out of stuff and be in a lot of trouble.
That sounds like bait.
But also, since if you're going to be around, remember, if you go light, you look like a normal person. If you go normal, you look like a scoundrel. If you go heavy, you look like a darn terrorist.
I think I'm going in light.
Okay, great.
All right, I'll go in light as well.
You like our boy Roared?
I like his 3 arms.
Oh, Roared. We didn't make that for his character. Why has he got 3 arms?
No, he doesn't have 3 arms. He has 2 forearms on 1 arm.
Extra forearm. Yeah, he's half ghost.
He doesn't have 3 arms. He's got 9 arms because he's got two. No, he's got 12 arms because he's got 3 forearms.
So now it is time for the engagement roll. we have to calculate how we're gonna start the score. So base fortune roll, we start with one die. For each major advantage, you get +1. For each major disadvantage, you get -1. Operation is particularly bold or daring. Would you say that luring a man into an assassination
that's
trap is
right.
particularly bold or daring? I don't know
No.
about that.
We got to do something more bold or daring.
Plan's detail exposes a vulnerability of the target or hits them where they're weakest.
So we haven't
I
done
guess-
any like. Should we have done research on this guy?
Yeah, you can do some research on him.
Did we have the? I mean, like, have we gotten an opportunity to like scout things out yet? We're not.
I was gonna say
very
this
far.
seems
Yeah,
like
we can scout things out.
time doesn't matter in this game, right? We jump.
Yeah.
We jump back in time to the action.
Yeah, we're time
I
does
thought that
matter
was-
in that we
okay.
can't plan the score beforehand, but except where it's defined in the rules this way, right?
I thought okay. I thought
So-
like the casing the target was like an
Yeah, we can do
phase
that.
of the thing.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's not an official phase. That's something that like
Okay.
you can ask to do. So I sort of offered you this downtime thing, which is in the rules. But also you can do gather information as part of like
Okay.
free play. Yeah. So how are you going to gather information?
So this is Anya's, Arya's, not Arya,
Elena.
Elena. This is Elena's. I'm gonna write your name down so I
Yeah.
stop misspeaking it.
I so she could. I mean, my first thought is just sort of like to tail this guy for maybe a day or two, just to get a sense of his schedule, his proclivities, like the kind of contacts he receives, so that we could, like, I don't know, like find a way to mimic one of those, like we would know what he would think is kind of normal, what he would expect.
Yeah.
Normal type stuff.
Perfect. That sounds like Prowl.
Okay.
Yeah. So just so you know, this is I just remembered what it's called. It's called a fortune roll. So it's not the same as a normal roll. So there's no consequences to failing this. Just 1 to 3 is limited. You don't do a great job at this. 4 and 5 is like standard effect. You do a fine job at it. You succeed in doing the thing. 6 is you do extra well at it. 2 6s is you do incredibly well at it.
Okay. So I've got 2 dice.
Yep.
I got a 6 and a 2.
Awesome. Yeah. So that's a success. So yeah, you see that this guy's not a high level guy. So most of his time is spent either at the firehouse, or it's spent at his own house. And you easily, like the first day, this guy's not hard to follow for you. You can pick him out by his limp from a distance. So easy. And he like, you can see him go from the firehouse back to his house, and then from his house to a nearby tavern for an hour or two, and then back to his house, and then to the firehouse. And that's pretty much his routine. In the time that you're watching him, he's this is actually in the time that you're watching him, he does go to a meeting. Let's say
Yeah.
I think that
I,
he's
like,
trying to
who-
he's
who
trying to
is
get
he-
this.
Like,
He's
who
trying to
is he
get
talking to over the course of the day? Like, do I pick up any, like people that he's
yeah.
regularly interacts with? Maybe.
So most of the people that he interacts with are his fellow brigade members, and his family at his home. But there is one day when he goes to. Oh, he lives in Crowsfoot. I just need another location. Where does he go? I think he actually goes to Six Towers one day. And he goes to one of the brigade houses in Six Towers to talk with them. And you think that he's like trying to get them to support his unionization effort. So you do see him go to another like firehouse.
Okay. So, like, maybe, like, maybe we just, I don't know, for Josh, like, maybe we could do something like pose as another firehouse, trying to get his attention, trying to get.
If there's any way to hit him where it hurts by exploiting this knowledge that he's got a relationship with this firehouse and maybe make him believe that this firehouse has betrayed him, or that they like, maybe we like forge communications and then create a fake opportunity for him to confront them. That
Cool,
way,
great. This is
Alternately, like, what if we pose as another firehouse and we're like, hey, we heard you're doing stuff. We want to get involved. Come visit us, meet with us, talk to our people.
yeah, no, I mean, that sounds like a great idea. The only reason why I was saying the other stuff is don't we get more like incentive for doing what, Matt? What was that list of things that you said? You said hit them where it hurts. That
this
kind of
is
stuff.
good to know when
What are
we're
these?
sort of doing the very limited planning that we're allowed to do. Advantages are operation is particularly bold or daring. Plan's detail exposes a vulnerability of the target or hits them where they're weakest. Friends or contacts provide aid or insight. Target is a lower tier or district modifiers. And the disadvantages are district modifiers. Target is a higher tier. Enemies or rivals interfering in the operation. Target is strong against this approach or has particular defenses or preparations, or the operation is overly complex or contingent on many factors.
Okay. So I think we can do both of our ideas, right? We can try to we could maybe go big and bold and try to do some sort of somewhat grand deception where we like pay a bunch of people to pretend to be firefighters or something like that, and we do the Sting kind of situation, and we make it look like they are in league with a known.
I think we're doing too much planning here.
Okay, all right, too much planning.
We need to cut to the thing. The only thing we're allowed to decide at this point is the method of deception. What is the method of deception for this guy? Are you going to trick him into thinking that you're firefighters and lure him to an ambush? Or are you going to try and lure him with deception? So what is that method?
Okay, so far Elena has discovered another firehouse that he is in regular contact with, negotiating with.
Yeah, he's met with people at another firehouse.
Okay.
And you also have the help of a janitor. Go ahead.
Okay. So, and we have the help of a janitor at City Hall or something like that.
The central offices of the brigade.
Of the brigade itself. Okay.
But it's like, yeah, basically the City Hall branch of the brigade, the central office.
Okay, so we can combine these two things then, right? We get a piece of paper from central office. We write a letter to these other guys that Lem is negotiating with, and we make it look like these other guys are being offered a deal that Lem hasn't been offered. And in the letter, it alludes to a meeting that's coming up where, you know, this other house is going to get paid off and is going to get to be on the inside of a sweet deal that Lem is being left out of to lure Lem in. So we're taking advantage of his.
So you want to get him to try and crash a fake meeting?
Yes. Yes.
Great. That is a perfect method of deception.
Okay.
So base fortune roll is 1. Operation is particularly bold or daring. Not that bold or daring. Plans detail exposes a vulnerability of the target or hits them where they're weakest. It doesn't seem like it.
Well, I mean, it's a vulnerability of the target in that they have this person that they're trying to partner with. Like, we're taking advantage of an alliance that they have.
Okay.
Something
fair?
that they're something that
Yeah,
they
sure.
really something that they really want.
Yeah, I mean, he really, that's why he's going to
Sure.
crash this, right? He's hungry for this.
Well, we'll see if he's going to crash it. You're going to try and get him to.
Sure.
Friends or contacts provide aid or insight.
Jagger.
Roard. Good old Roard
I
got
don't
us a
know.
point.
Is he a friend or a contact?
Oh.
He's an asset.
Okay.
If you had gone to somebody in your contacts list on your character sheet, then you would get this.
We need to write these things down so that we can.
Target is a lower tier. No, target's not a lower tier. And district modifiers. This is your district. Do you get one for that?
Yeah, it's our
I think you
hunting
do.
division.
I think you do. So that's 3 advantages. That's 3
Okay.
die, your base fortune roll plus advantages. Disadvantages. Operation is overly complex or contingent on many factors. It is contingent on 2 distinct things, which is that you can get this letter to him and he will buy it and he will go to this place and you will kill him there. That is starting to verge on complex. I don't think it's overly complex. So I'm not going to take a die from you.
Okay.
But that is verging on overly complex or many factors.
Okay.
Target is strong against this approach. No. Enemies or rivals interfering in the operation. No, I don't think so. Target is a higher tier. Yes, this target is a higher tier. The brigade is tier 2. Everybody is a higher tier than you. You are only tier 0. And then, district modifiers, I don't think. So 2 die. One of you guys roll me 2 d6s and we'll see how this engagement roll goes.
Go for it, Dave. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
I do this. Oops. I got double 6s.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Are you kidding me? That's
No
the
joke.
second time you guys have rolled 2 6s on 2 d6s
We are crushing it.
tonight. You're
We're
crushing it. You're gonna be rolling 1s for the rest of the night. This is okay, amazing.
Hey guys, are we the waters around that Titan Explorer sub at the bottom of the ocean? Because we are crushing it.
You're crushing it.
Oh,
That's
there.
really in poor taste, Josh.
Too soon.
So that's a critical, exceptional result.
Too soon.
What I have to give you for this is that you have already overcome the first obstacle and you're in a controlled position for what comes next. So I have to start you. The first obstacle to this is, can you get the stationery that you need to get from the central office to forge this note? And the answer to that is yes.
My
that
boy
doesn't
Roard.
even happen during the movie. The camera starts rolling. you guys already have the stationery in hand.
We see
The
Rord.
next-
We see Rord hanging out the door into the back alley, just handing us an entire sealed stack of stationery.
Yep, he just leans out a window, drops it,
Drops
falls. You catch it.
Oh, well, it lands
Next
in
shot.
it lands in the middle of the alley. A wolf picks it up.
A wolf picks it up and takes it and brings it to you.
We cut back to Rord. The camera's facing him. We see a large, heavy locker open up, and he looks down. Camera swivels around. About 100 pounds of smoked meats.
Yeah, of mysterious provenance.
Oh no, that is not all animal meat. I guarantee it.
So,
Ruh-roh.
so the next thing that happens is that you have got to
Boy, if you thought my joke was in poor taste, those spark rights are going to be awful. Sorry, go ahead. I should have said it sooner. I thought of it sooner.
they're
Okay,
bill
keep going.
hooks.
They're bill hooks. Those bill hook. Wait till you taste those bill hooks.
You might have some spark right left over from the first score.
It's the bill hook is pushing the bits of spark right out of the meat grinder. So,
Okay.
Yeah, you need any help digging that grave over there, Josh?
So
keep going.
You doing all right? Okay,
the
I'll
next
leave it to
challenge, is that you are you have to write out a forgery. You have to write out a letter that will tempt him to come to this fake meeting. I think you're setting the meeting. You got to die for this thing taking place in Charter Hall. So I think the meeting is in Charter Hall, right? And one of you is doing this forging, and I think this is controlled standard.
I'm so sorry. I don't mean to nitpick or contest your judgments. They're final. But would the Lady Irmina setting us up with this score and everything being in Capitol Hill, is she somebody who helped us get this whole thing going?
I think she's the client.
She's the client. She's not helping us. She's the client. You're right. Okay. Okay.
Also,
but-
she kind of wanted to stay out of it.
Sure. Yeah. We don't want to go
So-
asking her for help on something that we're doing for her. Keep going.
Yeah, but so for this role, the rules compel me, because of your 6, that even if I think that there should be some risk involved in this, it's controlled. Position is controlled. This is a controlled standard role to forge some documents. So I think this has. So okay. The challenge is that this guy doesn't know about the ambush yet, right? And technically, you can pick any in the rules. I can only give you a challenge, and then you decide what skill you want to use to address that challenge.
Okay.
But this is study or finesse or sway.
Okay. I've got
Yeah.
study and sway.
And if you try to do something else, it will be no effect. But if
Okay.
you do study or finesse or sway, it will be standard effect. So this is controlled standard if you do one of those.
Dave, do you have study or
Nope,
sway?
I have none of those.
Okay. All right. So
And
that's
as
good.
with any roles, you can push yourself, you can ask for a devil's bargain, you can do all the regular stuff to be able to get this to be, have different effect. But controlled standard is pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I like sway. Dave, can you take a point of stress and help me out so that I can get 2 dice on this?
Done.
Okay.
Okay, so you're both, leaning over a desk
Yeah.
as Kel is writing this out.
All I ask is that since we got this whole stack,
Elena is making dinner. She has no interest in writing up documents, but she's gonna
think
make a nice dinner to keep the morale up.
while she's making dinner, Kel is calling out, "Okay, what do you think about he's like asking her for like this word versus that word, and she's like helping
Yes,
him.
that is very
word it.
good. You're a smart boss. You are so good at writing letters.
I think just her saying that on loop is giving him the ego juice he needs to
Completely
get it
insincerely.
Yeah, he doesn't know. He doesn't care.
Here,
I got a 6.
Eat more
Okay.
bacon. It help you write very good.
Yeah,
Here,
the bacon
have-
pushes it over the
yeah.
top.
So you write out and what happens with your 6 is that scene ends, and the camera opens on Lem, and he is at, I think because this is official correspondence, he's supposed to intercept this in some way. You're trying to make it, part of your role is to make it look like he got this like by accident. So I think this is where Roard comes in really handy. So Roard is a janitor, and yeah.
Can we get
actually, you know what?
if we got a double 6s and a 6, can we get like not only official letterhead but an envelope, and then we address it to this other
Sure.
and then
But how
have
does
Roard
I think
put
actually
it
you know what? This is
into-
the next challenge.
Okay.
How does Lem find this?
Well, I was
Because you
going to
can't
say
just mail it to him.
sure.
He has to intercept this somehow. I feel like this is something that you could use Roard for.
Yeah, have Roard like drop it
Oh,
in
we can
his
have
bag or something, or like, drop it in his locker, drop it, put it somewhere where he's gonna find it.
Yeah, we can make it. We can have Roard get us, just some other tchotchkes and crud stuff that's supposed to get delivered to all the different stations, and make it look like a mix-up. Make it look like this accidentally got put into the wrong thing.
Okay. So Roard is tier 0. He's very crappy.
Hey, that's my boy.
I don't think you want him to roll on his own just to do this. So I think you should do some sort of action, something to help him out with this.
Yeah.
He will give you, he can go into the building and stuff. But I think if you can, you certainly can be like, and then we give this next part to Roard to do, and he will roll 2d6s and take the worst one.
Right.
Or, you guys can pick an action that you do to help him. Hunt or skirmish or something. I mean, skirmish is not going to help probably.
Sure. Dave, do you have any? Because you've got a lot of insight stuff, right?
Hunt and survey. 2 in hunt, 1 in survey.
Pretty good, right? Because Elena,
You need to find the stuff.
Yeah.
And
I'll take a stress to help you with your survey.
Okay, so this is all your. So what you're surveying? I'm imagining is you are like going to this central office, and you're trying to look to figure out like where is the stuff that they're sending. Because there's correspondence between the central office and the neighborhood fire stations probably every day. You're just trying to find that, right?
Would I have picked up on any of that in my original
no
scouting? Oh, okay.
Or, I mean, this can be a flashback where you do that during your original scouting.
So we see Kel and Elena
the
putter
rules
up.
don't distinguish between that.
We see Kel and Elena putter up in a little 3-wheeled vehicle. It's got like 1 wheel in the front, 2 in the back, and a little portable meat locker.
Not unless it's pulled by a goat.
Sure, it's pulled by a goat.
No, and you know what? You don't have one of those. You don't have
a meat delivery truck?
You do not. That is something.
We don't have a goat.
That is something that you can get for your crew.
Okay.
You can get a cart for your crew, but
Okay.
you don't have one right now.
Okay. All right. So Kel and Elena show up with another wooden crate overflowing with brown paper wrapped packages of special sweetbreads and stuff, and they do the on
But I
the
think
gutter.
so. I think this is a public building. It's not like you're not allowed to be here. So I
Right.
think this is controlled. The survey roll is going to be controlled standard.
Okay.
Okay.
So I got 2 dice.
Yep.
I got a 4 and a 2.
Okay, well, a 4 is a mixed success. So you're, you know what? Let me roll.
So we got a 4 to put together our care package.
Yeah, and so that means that, that roll there that I did was for Roard to see if he is able to help you out too much. He is not. He's really not able to help very much. So this is success. You succeed, but there's a consequence. And I think that the consequence is, I think the consequence, I'm going to start a clock, and it's going to be a 4-count clock, and it's going to be called Brigade Whisper Network.
Uh-oh.
And it's going to have 1 point taken out of it.
Uh-oh. So we're down to three ticks on the Brigade Whisper Network, getting word back to Lim.
Yes. If you guys do enough weird stuff around, brigade people, they're going to sort of put out the word that you guys are being sketchy, that there's some sketchy characters who are up to no good, and this is what you look like. And then he'll be on his guard against you.
Okay.
So you've got 1 tick out of 4 on a Brigade Whisper Network. But you are able to identify these like satchels that are going to the various firehouses, and you instruct Roard to put the letter in one of those, and off it goes. And the scene ends, and so the next scene opens, and we've got Lem, and he is obviously like the guy with the limp is not the guy who's like running into burning buildings, right? So this guy's just like the firehouse administrator. He's the guy who's like opening the mail, right? So he gets this very satchel, opens it up, sees that this letter is not addressed to the right place,
but
it's
there's
addressed
something
to this other.
But there's something fishy about who it's
There's
from.
something fishy about who it's from. They shouldn't be talking, this is who he needs to be negotiating with, not them.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets his tea kettle going, steam, and he steams open the envelope real nice and pulls it out. And you, of course, have made it incredibly easy to open this envelope secretly.
Right.
It's barely stuck together at all. I don't know. Did they have sticky? I don't know if they have sticky. It's like your wax seal falls apart on its own.
Sure.
It's sealed with wax, and the wax you got bad wax on purpose, and it just falls apart. He's like, okay, I guess I better read this, and he reads it, and the camera sees his eyes narrow and his brows furrow. And he gets up and he says, guys, I gotta go see about something real quick. Don't start any fires until I get back. And he like picks up his coat off of a hook and is putting it on as he limps out the door of the firehouse. And the camera zooms up. And we watch him limping along the street, and he makes his way
To a bathhouse.
No, he's making his way to the
Oh, that's right. To
the
the Capitol Hill.
firehouse
Yeah,
in Charter Hall, where
That's right.
this purported meeting is set to happen. He doesn't. He
Well, wait a minute.
leaves
I'm
the
sorry. Time
firehouse
out.
right away.
We didn't want to have it set in the firehouse of Charter Hall. We wanted it to be happening at a location that we chose somewhere
Right.
in Charter Hall.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And
yeah.
where is this location? It's a secret meeting for that the other brigade officers offices are not supposed to know about, between the Six Towers brigade house and the central office, to negotiate better salaries on a favorable terms.
Right. Right.
So where would you want?
I mean, I would think that it would be great to have it be at some sort of third location, like some sort of vice place, like a bathhouse or a gambling den or
Okay.
a something. And so the idea is that these powerful men who are going to negotiate a deal are treating themselves to some sort of vice-like activity and then doing the deal at the end of it, because
Okay.
they fancy themselves, to
Yeah,
be
that kind of
these.
thing is absolutely available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dave, do you want to pick the kind of vice location that they're at, or is that something you need to pick, Matt?
No, you guys can pick the location.
Yeah.
I will tell you that there are bathhouses. There's fancy clubs. There are smoke shops. There are drug dens, gambling dens, more or less official. There are fighting pits for both humans and animals.
As firemen, I would think that something like a hookah bar or a bathhouse would be,
or just like a bar, like a, they go, they play some cards, they get drunk, they have a big meal, real chummy stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide whether. Okay, no, that's yeah. So pick a. I will say that there's it's not really possible to have Vice without having some other crew involved.
So maybe
some
it's
other
not
criminals
Vice.
involved.
Yeah,
just
maybe.
So you know.
I like the restaurant idea then. The restaurant idea.
Like
is
maybe
good.
it's like the secret meeting room. Like it's a kind of popular restaurant, but then there's like the secret meeting room where business gets done. Kind of like mob. Like
But if you want to do this, what I'm saying is you're going to have to get something set up with the owner of that place to carry out an assassination on their premises.
Right.
That's not going to happen on its own.
Well, yeah. So we can pay somebody else to reserve that room, right? So that our face is there and we have somebody else do it. So I think, we have an underling, or, we just, we temporarily hire somebody to be our personal assistant, and then we fire them shortly thereafter. And we have them book the room.
The only person you have right now with you is Roard, and he's a crazy old janitor. I think that what you can do is we can do a scene where you negotiate with a restaurant owner.
Don't I have a disguise kit somewhere? Isn't that a thing?
Or yes, you have load. Think about what you have for you. There are subterfuge supplies.
Okay. Yeah, that seems like an appropriate thing to do, like using subterfuge supplies to disguise myself as a wealthy businessman who wants to book a private room for a private meal and meeting kind of thing. and so we find
Okay.
an institution. I mean, this is Capitol Hill, effectively, right? There's got to be
Oh yeah.
of this kind of institution
There
that caters to
absolutely
wealthy
are.
people who want private meeting rooms and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think the name of this place is? Let's call it the Cleaver.
Okay, I like it.
And it's a steakhouse, but they don't have beef here, so it's like a fancy goat steakhouse. They serve
Okay.
goat.
Yeah. Okay. Cleaver, Billy.
So
Billy Cleaver.
so go ahead, and so it sounds like what you want to do is you want to do a flashback.
Yeah.
Where you are going to consort with or possibly sway the owner of this restaurant to reserve a meeting under false pretenses.
Okay.
To reserve a private meeting space under false pretenses. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. So right now I've only got 1d6, but what's my position and effect?
Yeah, thank you for asking. I think that you're not known to this person, so being disguised is not hard. It's not like they're, trying to figure out who you are. And this is like a totally normal deal. So I think this is controlled standard.
Okay. Now I can up that from controlled to risky for an extra die, right?
You can up it from controlled to risky to get great effect instead of standard effect.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, we just want the place.
Do you want an extra die?
I kind of do, because I don't
All right.
want all this to fall apart,
I'll take a stress.
Now, hang on. Before you take that stress,
I won't take a stress.
talk to me, Matthew, about what sort of deal El Diablo might offer to me.
I was hoping you would ask. I think that here's the devil's bargain that I will give you. And I think this will be a fun devil's bargain. And this is what devil's bargains are for. I think that you can have a bonus die to roll if the Cleaver turns out to be owned through subsidiaries by the Billhooks.
By the Billhooks. Oh boy.
Who you stole your butcher shop from.
Ooh.
So if you make that part of the fiction, then you can have another die for this roll.
I actually kind of like the idea of sticking it to them by like doing our dirty deeds on their turf.
I like that too.
It's pretty provocative. Let's do it. Okay. All right, let's do it.
See, that's a good devil's bargain because
It
it makes
is.
the story better.
I got a 6. Woohoo! And it was the second die.
Okay, awesome.
2 and a 6.
Yeah,
Man, Dave,
so-
we are freaking crushing it.
Wait, did I take a stress on that?
No.
No, you did not.
Great. So what happens is you go in there, you're wearing just like a fake mustache or something. And this guy, there's nothing, no bells go off, doesn't seem weird at all. You reserve the private room for the particular time and place. And then we flash forward. We see our boy, Lem. He limps into the restaurant. He says, and he actually bribes the maitre d' to tell him where the secret meeting is taking place because he wants to look in on it.
I like that. I like him working to sell himself on the deception. That's awesome.
Yeah. And the maitre d's like, I don't care about this. Who cares about this? And I think that this restaurant has, like most restaurants, it's a big central room, and with full of tables. There's a kitchen in the back, and one side of the big central room has two rooms off of it. So one wall is just closed off. One wall is the front. One wall goes to the kitchen, and the fourth wall has two doors that go to these two separate, special rooms. And the maitre d shows him which room it is, and he goes up to it and slowly slides the door open and just peeks in. Where are you guys? There are people in this restaurant.
Yeah, I think Kel is actually in his disguise. He's disguised as, some official looking person. Like he's got like a fancy hat and,
Okay,
the
you look like
appropriate
you're
attire.
a bureaucrat.
Yeah. And he is, maybe, I don't know, like pretending to be preoccupied with some papers. Like he's got some documents in front of him that look like they might be related to the deal that they're about to make, and he's just poring over these papers, and maybe there's like something on the table that looks like it might have money in it, so that it looks like there's something's about to go down. Somebody's like actual money is about to get handed off. There doesn't have to be any money in the bag, but something to make it look like he's preoccupied and there's a reason to barge into the room.
I think Elena would be hiding in the room where we're going to do the dirty work.
I love it.
She's, I don't know, like behind the, I imagine it like one of those, like in the old, the Chinese epics where they invite them into the tea room, and there's all the thugs are hiding behind the partitions.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's the thugs hiding behind the partitions.
You're hiding behind a partition. Perfect. So, right now, though, he has not actually come into the room because he's trying to spy on this meeting. He's not actually here for the meeting. So how are you guys going to address this challenge?
How are we going to lure him into the room?
Right now, he's within view of like a dozen people having dinner at this restaurant.
Interesting.
He's not in the private room yet. He's just peering in the door through a crack.
I'm trying to think whether I want to lure him into the room and scare him into the room. I guess I could try to. Okay, so we need to create some sort of urgency. Why would he? This is the kind of thing, we're having this conversation out loud right now, but
in the fiction, this is you plan afterwards. So
Right,
you're still
right.
planning this now.
Okay.
How would you have planned to get him to come into the room, despite the fact that he's not actually invited to the meeting? He's just here to spy on it.
I mean, you could like, just like.
I mean, at this point, he's here. You're here. You could grab him and pull him in.
Well, what if, would he fall for something like, we start like, I don't know, like talking about him or like, spreading lies about him, try to bait him into, just charging him and confronting the people or something.
We do have an unusual weapon as an item.
You can have an unusual weapon.
So we could have like, some sort of, like a grappling hook or a net or a and a ball of adhesive on the end of a rope that we like hit him with and drag him into the room, something like that.
You
Right?
absolutely could.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like the idea of just a harpoon, right? Just we like it just stabs into him and yank him in.
I mean,
I will tell you
that does feel
stabbing him
kind
with
of conspicuous.
Yeah.
stabbing him with a harpoon will be highly conspicuous.
I feel like we're probably better off trying to get him to come in on his own.
Okay, an unusual weapon. Would that include something like a burst of some sort of gas or some sort of drug that would disorient him, that would make it easier to pull him into the room?
I think that you would have to have set that up beforehand. An unusual weapon is something like a garrote or a net, like you were talking about before.
Okay.
Here's another like different spin on it. Like, what if you? Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. I have an idea. If I'll share it after yours. You were already talking. I was
going to say, like, what if we turned it around and you approach him and you're like, we were waiting for you. And it's sort of like, this is, like, this is, you were
interesting.
We kind of we baited you here for a special reason. You think something's going on, but something different is going on. You'll want to hear what we have to say. Come into this room.
Okay, I like
Don't
this.
Mind
I think
the woman behind the curtain.
Yeah. I think Kel, without looking up, like the two of us are waiting for this guy. So the fact that he like even creaks the door open, like we know he's spying on us or whatever. And Kel, without looking up, says, "We have been waiting." I think he probably even. I'm trying to think how good Kel is at faking an accent, but he says, "We have been waiting for you, Mr. Bergeron. I see, true to form, you have gotten ahead of the game and beaten your competitor to the table. Come inside and have a seat. And the deal before me will be yours."
I think that I love this, but I do think that we still need to roll for it.
Okay.
I think that he's so wants to do this that this is going to be great effect, right?
Yeah.
If you succeed on it, but I think it is risky.
Okay.
Because there's a chance that he'll figure out that you're pulling his leg, and I think it's going to be consort or sway.
Okay. Can I, if I make it a desperate roll, do I get an extra die? Or does the desperate only increase the effect?
You can make it a desperate roll to increase the effect. I don't think,
but it's already great effect. Okay, all right.
It's already great effect. Great effect is like he'll come right in right away. Like regular effect is maybe he'll come in like timidly, but great effect is like he comes in and slams the door behind him.
I'm happy to take a stress to add a die. I'm trying to think of how I would help you out in this.
Okay.
Hiding behind the partition.
You can. Elena has a string tied to one of the chairs, and she like pulls the chair out so that it drags itself away from the table ominously. Is that okay, Matt? Do we need to come up with a reason in fiction, or is that okay?
Yeah, you do need to come up with a reason in fiction.
That how she would help him out.
Yeah.
Let's think. I imagine you want that extra die.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll take the stress. Myself. Okay. All right. Actually, I really want this to happen. Give me a devil's bargain, Mr. DM.
Okay, well, take the stress off if you're going to do a devil's bargain.
Okay.
You can either push yourself or take a devil's bargain. Can I offer you a devil's bargain?
Actually, you know what? I'll
Um,
take the stress here. I might need the
Yeah.
devil's bargain later. This is good.
Okay.
Okay. I've got the stress. I'm rolling 2d6. Oh
Yep,
my
you got it.
word! I keep rolling 6s and 2s.
Yep,
Okay.
I see. You got it. Yeah, this works. He says, what? And me I'm confused. I don't. And he comes in, he turns, he shuts the door behind him. Everybody in the restaurant sees him walk into this room willingly, shuts the door behind him, comes into the room, walks up to the table where you are sitting, Kel.
Oh yeah. I think I gesture to the chair that is on the side of the table where he'll be facing me and his back will be to Elena.
Yep.
And I place my hands on the table, kind of look down at him, and give him a huge predator smile.
I think this is the part where Elena comes out, and she is gonna, I mean, like, she wants to do this in a way, like she wants to, like, get a clean kill here, like no struggle, no screaming from him, like she
Okay.
wants a clean kill. So, I mean, like, probably, she's gonna do something like sneak while his attention is fixed on Kel. She'll sneak out from behind the partition.
Yep.
I don't know, like
Sounds like Hunt.
What about Prowl? Oh, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. They're both the same.
You're hunting him.
I was gonna say Prowl, but
And are you going to use?
backstab, ambush with close violence, a backstab, throat cutting, blackjack, etc.
Yep. You're going to use some kind of weapon for this?
Yeah, I'll take a blade or two. That seems
Cool. Mark it off.
Yeah.
And roll Hunt.
What's the? I mean, do I need?
Oh, right. I mean, this is risky standard. You're sneaking up behind the guy. You're going to kill him, so it's risky. It's not controlled, but it is standard effect, risky standard.
I'm definitely taking a stress to like line him up and keep his attention while Elena is aiming at him and everything.
Okay. I mean, I kind of, so like if I okay, so like I'm just throwing out an idea here. What do you think, Josh? But like, would this be a good time to do a desperate action to get a higher effect?
I think so.
I mean, I feel like she's and like this is kind of her thing. She's gonna be like, I'm a killer. I want to make this good. Like,
and you do get to mark experience if you do a desperate.
Yeah.
A desperate
that
roll.
Was so I'll
Yeah, so you want to make it desperate and do great effect?
Yeah, I think so. So I've got 3 dice.
You can always trade a point of position for a point of effect. And looks like you have 3d6.
3d6, okay.
With
one from me.
With Kel helping you, yeah.
I got 1, 5, and 5.
1, 5, and 5. Okay. So you do kill this guy. What is the consequence? You deliberately pushed it to desperate. It's gotta be a pretty rough consequence.
Can he try to resist that consequence?
Yes, but I have to say what it is first.
Okay.
I think that this guy is yeah. Well, maybe I should roll to decide what the consequence, because there's so many tasty consequences I can offer you here. There's several different extremely tasty consequences. Yes. Okay. Here's what it is. I think that this guy, you succeed in killing him, and you wanted to kill him cleanly, right? You want to kill him so that it doesn't like make a mess, right?
Well, I don't want him to immediately, like I don't want him to like start screaming or like
Okay.
make a ruckus that might draw attention to the room right
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
Like make people, like I don't want anybody knocking on the door and being like, "Hey,
Okay.
is
Cool.
everything
That's
okay?"
actually really helpful because that makes it clear what the consequence should be.
Yeah.
So the consequence, you succeed in doing the thing you're trying to do. You come up behind this guy, you put your hand across his mouth.
Yeah. Got a
and
rag.
you got a rag, you stuff in his mouth or whatever. Your Kel is holding part of, holding his hands, his arms or something, and you cut his throat. You deliver a killing blow, and then the two of you are like guiding his body onto the table or something, right? As the life leaves him, and Elena, you look down as you finish this killing blow, and you see a knife, a steak knife from the table is embedded in your thigh. He grabbed it up. He grabbed it up at the last second, and when you stabbed him, he stabbed you too.
Okay.
Take a level 2 harm, stabbed in thigh.
Okay.
This is a consequence.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I could resist this.
You could resist it with prowess.
Okay. And what?
That would reduce the effect of the harm to level 1 harm. So what that resistance would look like is you would roll 2 d6s, and whatever the higher number was, you would subtract that from 6, and that's how much stress you would take to resist.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Why not?
And it's still going to be a level 1 harm, but not a level 2
yeah.
harm.
I mean, that seems like worth resisting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Level 2 harm will make you lose a die.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'll do that. So I'm gonna roll 2 d6s.
All right.
I got a 6.
You got a 6?
Yep.
Amazing. Okay, so give yourself level 1 harm. I think it it's not buried in your thigh. He just grazed your thigh, but you do have a cut on your thigh.
Okay.
Level 1 harm, thigh cut.
Thigh cut. Okay. I just write that in the box there. Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
And so now you have a dead body in a restaurant. One of you is disguised.
May I ask you a question?
Yeah. Ask me a question.
Upon the death of a fellow or gal in this world, I suppose that would mean that their spirit would become disembodied from their body, and there would be a ghost present?
Yes, in the normal course of events, that would happen over several days. The ghost would become slowly unstuck from the body.
Then I would like to use my fine lightning hook or my spirit mask. No, my spirit bottles. I'd like to use my spirit bottles to try to capture the spirit of this guy. And I think
your spirit bottles and probably your fine lightning hook as well.
Yeah, do I use my spirit mask or my lightning hook to do that?
The lightning hook.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to use the lightning hook to try to capture this guy.
Okay, this is going to be because ghosts are super dangerous, and you guys just murdered this guy, and this is
This is fine. What could go wrong?
this is fine. What could go wrong? You
So many things, Abed. So many things.
so normally versus a ghost,
It's
this would be like desperate and no effect. Your fine lightning hook gets you up to limited effect.
Okay. Can I use my spirit mask as well to up the effectiveness?
Sure, why not? I think
Okay.
so.
Okay, so standard effect.
So now I want you to understand that with the spirit mask, your disguise is different from when you're wearing your spirit mask. It looks freaky.
Right.
well,
right.
we're alone in this close.
Right.
room.
You're currently alone. Nobody can see you.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're doing crazy, freaky stuff in front of everybody.
out in the middle of the.
But yeah, so Elena comes
Cool.
up, slits
So you
this
use-
guy's throat. He collapses on the table. Kel gets this huge wolfish predator grin on his face, pulls out a mask, slips it on, pulls out a lightning hook, points it at the guy, and sets the table,
some
sets the
spirit
bottle on the
bottles.
table, sets the
Yep.
spirit bottle on the table, points the lightning hook at him, and just tries to zap this guy down. And so I'm rolling
Desperate
3d6.
standard.
Okay, can I take 2 stress to increase?
Yeah.
You know what? I think 3d6 should.
You're attuning. This is 2d6, right?
Yeah, but I'm using my fine spirit mask to get an extra die.
No, you're using your fine spirit mask
Then I
to
am
get it
taking.
up to standard effect.
I'm going to take 2 stress then to get this.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Gosh, you're close to trauma right now.
Gosh, I am, but I got a 6.
Wait. Oh yeah. Okay. There it
5,
is.
6, 3. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. You do this thing and mark experience for your desperate roll.
I did. I just completed my Resolve XP track.
Oh, that's not where that goes. It goes in your playbook advancement.
Oh, I've been marking these up here.
Oh no, you know what? That is where it goes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay.
I'm wrong.
No, okay. All good.
Yeah. There's no consequence. But I mean, you are very. There's no technical consequence, but right now, you're in a room with a dead body. You have a filled spirit bottle with the ghost, the spirit of the person you just killed, on your person. You're wearing your crazy spirit mask, and you have taken 4 out of your 5 available load points.
Wait,
Just
I
so
thought
you
that
know
the stuff
situation.
in my gray area didn't count.
Only
against my...
the ones in italics. The ones in italics don't count against your load, but the ones that are not in italics do.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, all right.
But like the ghost key and the demon bane charm and the vials are like little tiny itty bitty things. But the lightning hook is pretty big. The spirit mask, you have to have it on you somewhere.
Yeah.
The spirit bottles are like the size of a Diet Coke. They're like a liter.
Sure.
Yeah. So
While
you
he's
succeed.
doing
There's a
that, Elena's
ghostly
kind of...
ruckus. There's a you see electroplasmic visual effects zipping around, and you Ghostbusters this spirit into your thing.
While he's doing that, Elena's kind of patching herself up.
Okay.
And once he's done, she turns, once he's got it finished up, she turns to him and says, "Okay, you done now? Shall we send a message?" with this?
Oh, I think it would be best if we were to maybe remove the fingers and maybe the head to make it a little more difficult to identify the body, and maybe we could, take a little bit of him back and send a little bit of
Okay.
that to
This-
maybe
This
his.
room is very boring. We could add a little what
I
they
don't.
call
This is
it,
nice place. I don't have any beef with them.
modern art. We don't have any beef. Do you not remember? This is Bill Hook House.
Oh yeah, we can do whatever we want to this place. It's a billhook establishment.
Have you forgotten where we are, Cal?
Wait a minute. Huh.
The ghost.
This is a Bill Hook
ghost-
establishment.
The ghost hat makes your memory fuzzy. You should be more careful with that.
Yeah, what are you guys gonna do?
All the while, Elena's just kind of been like scribbling on, like with her knife. She's just kind of been scribbling on the table in blood, in the guy's blood, pooling blood.
I think, yeah, if we use this guy's blood to write a message on the wall,
she's she's kind of hinting at this, but she wants to make a mess of this room. Like,
yeah, I mean, hey, I'm your boss, not your babysitter. I'm not going to stop you.
Just like that's what she means by send a message. I think Kel would probably know that, but
If you want to, I mean, so I think that every minute that you spend in here is at least risky.
yeah.
So if you want to do something like this, I mean, I'm going to
No,
make
she's
you
not
roll
gonna-
something.
She's not gonna mess around, but like, I mean, she wants to make a mess of the place.
Why don't you roll wreck? Why don't you tell me you're going to wreck the place?
Shoot, I don't have any points in rec.
Well, that doesn't mean you can't do it. But you could also tell me there's something else that you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we just take the guy's blood and we, if we take his finger and we get him to hold up his finger over his mouth, and we have it cut his tongue out. So let's cut his tongue out and then put his finger over his own mouth in a hush kind of gesture. That way it'll be intimidating.
One of you can roll something like finesse to do that.
Also, don't have finesse.
But you can do these things, but I do want it to be risky. If you're going to get the effect of sending this message or having some effect on the bill hooks, it should carry some risk.
She's gonna want to do that though.
Yeah, this is your game. This is your play. I'll let you do it.
Yeah, she wants to
give it the old college try. The worst thing that happens is it fails and the story gets interesting.
Well, so what do I do if I don't have any points in it though?
If you don't have any points, you can still roll it. You just roll 2 die and you take the lower one.
Oh, okay.
You can still push yourself to get an extra die, which would make it so that you would roll 1. And so one of the things about this game is you're in a crew, and because you're a scoundrel and you and your crew have the ability to take stress, you can always roll at least 2 die.
Okay.
Because you can push yourself and your friend can help.
Okay. So each of us could take does that sound
So it's 2 stress to push yourself.
Oh, okay.
Josh cannot take another point of stress. He would be traumatized by that.
Dead. He's there. Okay.
But you can also, if you can make a case for why you're using some other skill to do the thing that you're trying to do. But it sounds like the thing you're trying to do is going to be wreck or possibly finesse or something.
does. I mean, I don't know. I don't think any of these others are really.
While
I
David's
mean,
thinking
yeah.
about that.
No, I think I'll do that. I'll take 2 stress to push it and get 1 die for this, and I'm gonna make a mess.
So this is risky
Is it
standard.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna roll. I got a 1.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so I think what happens is you make a bunch of noise.
Yeah. Okay.
You make a bunch of noise, and
Unless
I think I've got to put 2 more ticks on your.
unless
I mean,
he
it's a
resists
consequence.
unless he
Yeah.
resists the consequence, right?
But I am going to put. I think actually the old Brigade Whisper Network clock I can't use, but I am going to create a restaurant suspicion clock.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a 4, and this is going to fill up. What were you trying to do? You were trying to wreck the place?
More like wreck the body all over the place.
Okay. I'm going to say two ticks out of 4 on the restaurant on the restaurant suspicion clock.
All right. Well,
for a consequence.
Whoops.
Yeah. Okay. So does it fail and all that stuff happens, or did we successfully do? Okay.
Nope. Right. He goes to do something to the body, and I think what happens is like it falls off the table and thumps on the floor.
Sure.
He goes to grab it, and he's trying to turn the body over onto its stomach to get to the back or something like that, and thump, it falls on the floor, and there's a big noise and silverware clatters.
There's glasses on the table, and they slide. He accidentally knocks the glasses off, and they smash on the floor.
Yep. So that you've made a noise, but this is a private meeting. They're probably not going to interrupt just because of one broken dish or something. But you are aware that the danger just increased. You are now in this private room with a dead body. The spirit is not in the body anymore, and you just made a loud thump.
Now, did we choose this room because it's got a window that we could maybe shove the body out of?
I think if somebody does a flashback, I think this is the kind of flashback that costs a point of stress.
Could I take? Well,
I think you can take stress to go into the. Oh, go on.
I mean, Could I take something in my loadout that we could use to dispose of the body? Like a bag, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Or
I think you can have a bag in your loadout. It doesn't specifically list that, but I think that would be fine.
Or I don't know. I don't know. What do you think, Josh? Does that sound good?
You tell me. I mean, it's either we try to carry this guy out through the front door in a bag, or if you have the ability to take just one more stress, and we flash back to you and me standing in the alleyway looking up at the window of the private room of the restaurant, the Cleaver, and we're
we can just do a flashback to say that you picked this restaurant because the private rooms have a window.
I'll take a stress for that.
But that requires the flashback.
I have a lot of
point of stress.
I've got 4 more loadouts.
Yes, perfect.
Used, so that's what I was thinking.
Sure.
Right. Loadout. If you could find a way to use loadout to address this instead of stress, would be.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I mean,
that would be more efficient.
Or okay.
Demolition tools.
Wait, what if we stashed a, what if we stashed a food trolley in here?
Oh, okay. An unusual item. So the item is that there's some sort of Okay.
Yeah, like like a
Okay. Mhm.
like a food
Yeah,
trolley
like a
from the
steakhouse
kitchen.
has.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
sure.
we're just like,
The
it's
cla-
covered.
But I think
Yeah.
I think that's fine. I think that would also take the flashback.
Okay, so like
to get the
that
trolley
wouldn't
lined
help
up.
with the.
No, but I think like the things in your loadout are things that you're carrying on your person.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this way, if
Got
we
it,
do the
okay.
flashback to have the window, we're
But
done.
I do just want you guys to understand that you can also just say, we're done, we're walking out, we're going to leave this body here.
I mean,
Well,
I
think
don't require you to do anything.
Yeah.
The way that you leave the scene will affect, the consequences of this
Yeah.
of this score in terms of things like heat.
also Kel has ideas for this body, things that he wants to accomplish.
Okay.
So I think like right outside, you see Roard walk up and drop down a mattress, and you see this body go.
yeah, I'll take the stress to do that.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, we could also.
So there's a
I think
window.
she would also like want to. Yeah, like Elena would go for that because she could. She'd be like, well, okay, we keep the body and we can use it to send a message later.
Yeah.
We
Patience.
find some public spot. If we keep
Sometimes it's time to make the
I
kill.
think-
Sometimes it's time to wear the prey down.
I think it probably does not take a roll for you guys to push this body out this window that you specifically chose for this and planned for
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
And you have your crew's special crow's veil ability that makes it so that the spirit wardens aren't going to come. And I think that you're on the street now, say like an alley behind the building with a dead body. Are you the kind of crew that would need to roll to get a body back to your place? You know what? This is actually where your decision to make to get the butcher shop, I think this comes in superbly useful right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that butchers transport meat all the time around the city.
we got a meat truck.
You don't have a meat truck.
We don't have a meat truck. We have a meat.
Because one of the things that you could
we have
get
a
is a
goat
carriage.
we have a goat that carries our meat for us.
No, but
Sure.
I think that you have a box or a bag or something
A hand cart.
that
a
is
meat
branded.
hand cart.
I
Yeah.
think you have a box that says the Queen's Flank on it, and
There we go.
you can just be butchers transporting meat back
Now-
to your butcher shop.
I, Josh, am not a criminal mastermind, but even I would put generic meat instead of the name of my shop on the side of my thing that I've got a body in. But you
Oh,
tell
fair
me.
enough. No, it's up to you.
I think we've just got meat on the side. That way, in case somebody walks by and stops us and opens
Maybe
it
we
for
have
some
the
reason.
name of a fake butcher shop.
Yeah.
But I think that all that is to say, I think that
Okay.
like butchers,
Maybe we have the name of a billhook butcher shop.
the bill hooks do have butcher shops, yeah. But I think that all that is to say that I think that the camera sees you guys like donning your butcher outfits
Right.
and taking this body and like putting it in some kind of container that a butcher would have meat in. And now as the camera zooms out, you are just a pair of butchers
Mm-hmm.
transporting meat from you had a delivery at this one steakhouse, and now you're going to the next steakhouse with the rest of your product.
And as
And
we
you're
walk
walking
away,
walk through the city, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, as we're walking away, the Jason Bourne music.
And I think you just the score is completed. Good job. After the score, payoff.
Do we need to go do the scene with Lady Irmina?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Can I just throw
You can.
one more thing out there?
Please, yeah, go for
That
it.
maybe we could try a thing. Like, okay, Josh, like, what do you think? I feel like Elena likes sending messages with these kills.
Oh yeah.
So, like, what I mean, I think she would suggest or push for us to do, something like leave the body in a public space, or, like, I don't know, mail the, uh, send the teeth to somebody in the mail, to make some kind of statement like that.
I think Kel wants to take this Lim fellow and use him as a way to psychologically terrorize his Lim's allies who are part of this firemen's strike protest thing. Because he doesn't just want to do the job for Lady Irmina. He wants to prove we don't just do the job, we get results. So he wants to cut Lim up, process him at the butcher shop into either meat pies or sausages, and then send these to, but saving the fingerprints, the fingers and teeth, and send these to Lim's associates, maybe the guys at the other station that he went to and was, consorting with, and his own station. Oof. And then the next day, after everybody's eaten all these pies and sausages, drop off a note, or, maybe an hour later, drop off a note that says, hope you enjoyed the pies, courtesy of your friend Lim. Stop the strike, or you'll be eating each other next.
And with the note is the
include the teeth,
the custom made brace that he wore on his gimpy leg.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And his teeth.
Yeah.
And all his teeth.
And his teeth.
I'm just trying to be a little bit subtle there. Great. So you deliver.
Yeah, Elena would be on board with this plan.
And the teeth. Yes, and the teeth, of course.
Well, so since we're talking about what kind of message we're sending,
what else are you going to do with them? Are you going to keep them? What do you want the teeth for?
It cuts over to Kel and his little secret stash of teeth that he keeps in a little jewelry box.
So let's just take care of heat real quick, since this is relevant to what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
I think that you guys, this was really well done.
Yep.
I think that it would be a toss-up between smooth and quiet low exposure and contained standard exposure. And I would go with standard exposure because at the end of it, you used him to send such a strong message. But you, and so normally this would be a 4 heat operation. 2 heat for contained standard exposure and 2 heat for killing. But Crow's Veil gives you -2 heat, takes away the killing part.
Yep.
And you get -2 heat for your butcher shop.
Yep. So we get a free message.
I think that this is a 0 heat score. And I have never seen a 0 heat score before.
Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love it when you see it.
I've listened to these on podcasts, a lot of them, and there's always some heat. And this, partly it's because you rolled double sixes twice. You got through a bunch of these things that were part of this score without even having to.
Rolled a lot of sixes.
Rolled a lot of sixes,
so
really
many,
good. But
Dave,
no heat. Okay.
The next crime we do is gonna go so poorly. We've used up all the luck.
Next thing is rep. They are These guys are tier 2, and so you are going to get 2 rep plus 1 per tier higher. So that's 4 rep
Tight.
for Farkash Renier.
And where are you putting that? Did you just click it in? There it goes.
I just now
There
clicked it
goes.
in.
Okay.
And you're also going to get 4 coin from Lady Ermina.
Elena expects 2 of that coin.
Yeah. So are those coin going 2 to Elena and 2 to Kel?
You guys get to decide what you do with the coin.
Elena wants 2. She doesn't care what happens to the other 2.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I think Elena is the one who did the killing blow, so I think I would give 2 to Elena. I would take 1, and I'd give 1 coin to the crew.
Okay.
Well, actually, the crew isn't really. Does the crew need money to do stuff?
Yes, the crew is going to need money soon in order to upgrade to tier 1.
Okay, in that case,
So
I'm going to
you're
give
almost
as
you're
the
almost-
boss. As the boss, I'm going to eat the coin thing, and I'm going to give the 2 coin to the crew and 2 to Elena because I'm going to get my coin from selling my spirit, selling Lim's spirit to my contacts.
So you only need 2 more rep to be able to upgrade your tier, but I
Okay.
believe that you're going to need 8 coin.
Wow. Okay.
And you've only got the crew only has 2 right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me.
But it could be that the next score, if you get 2, if you can pull off a 6 coin score next time, that, and you probably get a couple rep for that, you might be able to go up a tier.
Can I sell Lim's spirit to my contact?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll 1d6 to see how valuable this particular spirit is. As we go.
2.
So this spirit is not great. This guy has not been able to keep his form very well as a spirit.
Sure.
He's been disintegrating a little bit, possibly because of the manner, his emotional state at the moment of his demise.
Right.
But this is only worth 1 coin to your contact, who is I believe
Flint. He's a spirit trafficker.
Yes. Great. Just gonna. So Flint is like, this one's it's not super great, but thank you anyway. And he gives you a lot of money for it. This is I'd have to tell you this. I feel like our partnership lately has been working really well for me. I tell you, I have been able to resell these spirits to various interests around the city, and it's been very profitable for me. So I keep bringing them, and I will keep selling them.
Anytime you need a specific custom mark that's maybe worth a little bit extra, you let me know.
I'll think about that.
Do you ever have customer come in and say, hey, I really want spirit of, this person I used to work for who mistreated me real bad and took a lot of money from me? And maybe
I tell you what, that is the kind of thing that does sometimes happen. That's not usually my business.
Okay, but I mean, like, we have understanding, right? There's nobody like ahead of me in line that if somebody says that to you, you're going to go to somebody. Like, I'm your guy.
Oh, of course
right?
not. You and me, I come to you first.
Okay.
How many times have you gotten me out of trouble with the Bluecoats?
4. It's 4. The answer is 4.
I will always come to you first, my friend. This arrangement is fantastic for me.
Hey, and same for me. Like, I'm not shopping these around. You're my guy. I'm happy for us to get a little synergy, a little you grease my hand, I grease your hand, little double greasing going back and forth. Synergy makes everything work. Okay?
And
he gives him a hug.
There will never be a problem with this arrangement. There will be no consequences. You do need to pay, I believe it's 1 coin to as a tithe
Right.
to the where's Farkash Renier? I believe it's to the Leviathan hunters, who are sort of your criminal patrons.
All right. So Limbs, the coin I got from Lim goes straight to the Leviathan. So I'm back down to 2.
All
And
right,
then
great.
I
Okay.
need to deal with my stress.
Time for entanglements. How much heat do you guys have?
No more than last time.
So roll me 2 d6s and take the lower one.
It's all you, Mr. Farrell.
All right.
Tell me what that number is.
Whoa, that one hopped out of the bucket. It's a 1. It's a 5 and a 1.
Okay. So this is usual suspects. The Bluecoats grab someone in the periphery of the crew for questioning. So one of you guys
No, Roard! No!
Has to send up. Fair enough. Yeah.
Oh, poor Roard. And I was so looking forward to Roard advancing in the ranks.
You want to send Roard to the Bluecoats?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Bluecoats. There's some indication that this weird janitor guy was involved in some way with the mysterious disappearance of this member of the brigade, and because I think maybe somebody saw him sneak the letter in, and somebody was able to put 2 and 2 together,
right?
And so they grab him. Somebody roll me just a regular. Actually. Roll me either pay 1 coin to get him out, to get him away from the Bluecoats, or make me a fortune roll. And I think it's just a fortune roll, so it's just 1d6.
And the consequences of
I got a 5.
Okay.
Okay. So he gets you happen to see him in the next couple days, and he is got a broken arm.
He's got 3 arms.
I was gonna say. That's right.
What's 1 broken arm and 1 3? He's still got 2.
That's right. Gosh, I don't even want to think about how that cast would work.
Great. So now it is time for XP. Let us take care of XP for let's do our characters. Elena.
Okay. And by the way, I think that just real quick before we move on from Roard, I think that after Roard got picked up and got his arm broke, and if Roard didn't give them up, I think Kel values that loyalty and sees what he's been through and gives him a job. Because a butcher shop is a messy place. And Roard knows his way around a cleaning device.
Oh, you can do that. There is a thing in the rules for your employees, and I just want to make sure that we all understand that he's not one of those.
I was going to say, I don't want any kind of advantage from Roard or asset class.
There's a thing called cohort.
Yeah,
which is like
Roard is not cohort. He's not cohort material. He's custodial. Yeah, he's going to become vice custodial Roard. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'll make him the. I will make him the Queen's Flank
vice custodian.
Custodian.
Vice custodian. Okay.
Great. So
it's only in the title, but we don't have to pay him anymore. So
you marked every time you rolled a desperate action.
Okay, well, so I did 1 of those. So what do I put that under? Where do I mark that?
What skill was it?
Desperate action.
Oh, it was.
I killed.
It was hunt. It was
prowl.
hunt.
No, it was prowl.
It was prowl.
Yeah.
So see where there's some tick marks to the right of the board. Prowess.
Okay, so add another one there.
Add another one there.
Boop.
Yep. So yep. And then you addressed a challenge with tracking or violence.
Okay, I did.
I'm going to say
I
that
did both.
I think you get 2 XP for that.
Because I did. I scoped the place. I followed the guy at the start, and I also cut his throat.
Tracking was a significant, important part of this score, and so was violence. So I think you get both XP for that.
And
go ahead and mark those.
Down
on the playbook advancement.
Okay, so 2 there.
Yep. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
I thought so. I did a bunch of that. I felt like so like I was kind of I did a bunch of, like, at the beginning she's kind of stirring the pot, with Kel and with Lady Ermina. She's sort of like challenging authority.
Yeah.
She also, kind of made it clear that, like, again, she pushed her own agenda with getting paid, expecting that, I get paid
I think
first.
I think that's one.
And then also she expressed the, she pushed the like the score in the direction of, let's send a message with this, both unsuccessfully when she tried to make a mess in this thing, but also afterwards when they,
sure. Take 2 XP. I think those are two definite and distinct things that happened.
Okay.
You struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session.
I don't think so.
I think not.
Not really.
Great. You're almost at a playbook advancement. So close. Next, let's talk about Kel. You have a full resolve track here.
So
go ahead. Clear that and add a dot to one of those resolve skills. You cannot get it past 3. I think 3 is the max you can have without the special training center.
Okay. I think I'm going to take that third one in attune so that I can be a little more brave about using compel in the future. Yeah. So, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent.
But also keep in mind. Oh, never mind. Yeah. Never mind. Great. So, you addressed a challenge with knowledge or arcane power. Knowledge, I think. I think we can definitely say knowledge.
Okay.
I don't know if taking a guy's spirit that you didn't have to take was a challenge. You could have just left it there. You're just harvesting it. I think that's not addressing a challenge with arcane power.
Sure. Okay.
I did not challenge you, with that.
Okay.
But I think knowledge, definitely, with all the scoping out and figuring out how it was going to work.
Right.
You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
I definitely expressed my drive with the whole going the extra mile with Lim's body to try to show Lady Ermina we don't just get the job done. We are, a super effective crew.
Yeah, take a point for that. And that fills up your thing. So,
okay.
So that is a playbook advancement. I believe that when you fill up your playbook advancement tracker, you can either take a point in one of your skills if you want, or you can pick one of these special abilities. So, for instance, the special abilities are great. Ghost Mind, you're always aware of supernatural entities in your presence. Iron Will, you're immune to the terror that some supernatural entities inflict on sight. Occultist, you know the secret ways to consort with ancient powers, forgotten gods, or demons. Ritual, you can study an occult ritual or create a new one. Strange methods. that would be a good one for crafting something if you're interested in crafting. Tempest, which I believe you started with, but then switched it to Compel.
Yeah, because I never used. I clicked it, but I didn't even use it in that entire session.
Oh,
So you let me
actually,
just
so
pick something
Josh,
different. Yeah.
Warded might be really good for you. You may expend your special armor. So special armor is like a
Yeah.
checkbox. Where is it? Everybody's supposed to have special armor. I think
It's
maybe we can.
It's in the armor uses, armor heavy special.
Yeah, just to the right of the circular pie chart, armor heavy special.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So you can click that. Actually, I don't. Oh, never mind. I thought that it would take from your load, but I think only regular armor and heavy armor add to your load.
Right.
Doesn't look like special armor has a section in your loadout.
Right.
So never mind. It could still be good because if I were to if you were to say I'm going to trap this person's soul in a spirit bottle, and I was like, okay, desperate limited effect, and you were like, I'm going to use my thing to get it up to standard effect. I'm like, okay, go ahead and roll, and you're like, it's a 4, and I'm like, okay, you trap it, but the ghost kills you. You could be like, I expend my special armor to resist that supernatural consequence.
Yeah, I'm really torn because with Ghost
But
Mind,
it's up to you.
I'm torn because that's good and I like the idea of living, but with Ghost Mind, I'm always aware of supernatural entities in my presence, and I get an extra die when I gather info about them, about the supernatural. That would help
Right.
me with Compel because
So
I
another
would
thing-
know that they're around.
Another thing to be aware of,
Oh,
and
never
this,
mind.
and you can maybe make this decision, off screen, but there's an ability called Veteran, and you can take this more than once, and it allows you to choose a special ability from another playbook.
Okay, I might look around.
So it's kind of weird that the rules of the game let you just take special abilities as many as you want from whatever other playbook you want. It's almost like, why do they even list the specific special abilities for? Like, there's no penalty to getting special abilities from another playbook. You can just have as many as you want. It's weird. But I guess they found it works better this way. So think about it. You can decide now or later.
Cultist seems pretty great. I mean, for a brutal, ambitious gang starting out, having more access to dark powers seems pretty great. All right, I'll think about it. I'll make a decision off screen. I'll leave the marks on for now.
Yeah, demons are very dangerous. Forgotten gods and demons are dangerous things to mess with, but they're also very powerful.
Indeed.
Cool. That's your XP. So when you pick a playbook advancement, go ahead and clear the playbook advancement track there.
Will do.
And then let's do the crew itself.
And then real quick, if I were to take strange methods and I invent or craft a creation, that thing would allow me to use a tune to wield it?
No. Wait, you mean strange methods?
Yeah, if I take strange methods and I invent
That allows
or
you to-
craft an arcane, something with arcane features.
It helps you craft the thing.
But can I make a thing that is a weapon that I use?
Yeah.
Would I use a tune to use it if it's a magic weapon?
It depends on what we come up with for how the weapon works. There's a page for it where we do a dialogue during your downtime about the weapon that you're crafting.
Yeah, because I for sure would love to make a ghost gun.
Yeah, if you wanted to do that, I mean, frankly, Elena already has a ghost gun.
I do.
Yeah, you have a fine long rifle and you have electroplasmic ammunition.
Oh.
You can shoot ghosts.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. In that case, I feel like I've got enough damage dealing that my teammates have, and I have compel, and I can get a ghost to attack for me. So I think I may actually take warded, so that I can go crazy, go whole hog, and not die doing it. So it'll allow me to be more aggressive with the skills I already have.
It certainly will. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take warded. I cleared my playbook advancement track.
Cool. Yeah, and also being a little bit braver with taking on what are they called? Desperate roles. If you know that you can resist the consequences, you'll maybe be like, take more
Yeah.
desperate roles, which will
Yeah.
get you, more
Yeah.
XP.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
Cool. Thanks.
Sarkash Renye, the crew itself, at the end of each session, for each item below, mark 1 XP, or instead mark 2 XP if that item occurred multiple times. Execute a successful accident, disappearance, murder, or ransom operation. Check.
Murder.
I will check one of those. Contend with challenges above your current station. Check. And that fills it up.
Nice.
I think the way it works is that, like, when it fills up, you don't keep marking it that session.
Okay.
I think we get the advancement, and then next session we start with a blank slate. So you get 1 crew advancement, which is also equivalent to 2 boxes in the crew upgrade.
So where's the crew upgrade?
So
there we go. Okay.
Crew upgrades, there are a lot of boxes here. So they're like hardened, iron hook contacts, elite skulks, elite thugs, carriage, boat, hidden, secure, vault, weapons, all this sort of stuff, right?
Wait. Oh.
So you could get 2 of those boxes,
Oh, wow.
or you can get one of the special abilities. So deadly, each PC may add +1 action rating to hunt, prowl, or skirmish.
We do
Which is
use those
insane.
a lot.
We use those a lot. You already have Crow's Veil. Ember Death doesn't mean a whole lot if you already have Crow's Veil. No traces. When you keep an operation quiet or make it look like an accident, you get half the rep value of the target round up instead of 0. When you end downtime with 0 heat, take +1 rep. You guys currently have heat, and you've never... I think you reduced your heat once, but if you took this, you would have to reduce your heat a bunch before you would start getting rep.
Yeah.
One thing you might be interested in, because you do sort of have a patron, is patron. When you advance your tier, it costs half the coin it normally would. Who is your patron, and why do they help you?
I like that because that allows us to use our coin for other things that we need to be using it for.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But keep in mind that you do only advance in tier. Excuse me, unless you go to war and you get bumped down a tier. But I think
Yeah, that's true.
you only advance in tier like 6 times. Although actually that's a lot, so that would be really helpful. But think about it. Predators. When you use stealth or subterfuge to commit murder, take +1d to the engagement roll. That would have helped you this time.
That'd be useful.
Yeah.
When you acquire or craft poisons, you get +1 result level to your roll. When you employ a poison, you're specially prepared to be immune to its effects. Or choose a special ability from another crew. So you also, veteran is available to crews. What might you guys want from other crews?
I feel like
I don't know, but yeah, think about it.
Deadly and predators look pretty good.
Let me see. There's one here that I think Josh might like. No.
Ooh, forged in the fire. Each PC has been toughened by cruel experience. You die to resistance rolls. It's interesting.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong stuff.
Ooh, this is nice. All hands. During downtime, one of your cohorts may perform a downtime activity to acquire an asset, reduce heat, or work on a long-term project. That's interesting. Oh, we need to start some projects.
You surely could. Isn't there one of these that lets you add a workshop? Oh, wait, no. I was not. So, Josh, if you wanted to craft items,
Yeah.
then you might want to take the workshop crew upgrade here. Because workshop gives you plus 1d to your crafting item rolls. And then, for instance, if you were going to be crafting weapons, your 2 boxes here might be workshop and then quality weapons.
Interesting. Okay.
Just something to think about. But what do you guys think?
Dave, you said
what are
that you
you
had your
leaning
eye on
towards?
2 of those crew special abilities, right?
I mean, Deadly and Predators both seem pretty good. Also, on the other side, though, like, okay, like if we do like having a carriage might be good.
You wanted one a couple times during this score.
And we
You
had,
could have
I think the first score we did, you know, like transportation was kind of a thing too for that one. So
I think you're right. I think the fact that we've been talking about having one so much means that, optimization of the game aside, it'd be great to have a big old meat truck,
Yeah.
you know?
So you could like we could get the carriage and you could get your workshop, right?
So we could do a carriage and a carriage 1 and workshop.
The carriage takes 2.
Oh,
Okay.
The carriage would take both of your
okay.
upgrade boxes.
But what sorts of things does the carriage allow us to do? What sort of does it give us advantages on things like getting out of a situation and stuff like that?
I mean, yeah, it gives you like literally a carriage that you can use in your scores.
So is it either that or a special ability?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can check one of the special ability radio buttons here,
Yeah.
or 2 of the crew upgrades boxes.
Okay. So right now, okay, so if we took, we're not at war yet, so we don't need to be hidden, so to speak. Interesting. What does it mean to add +1 to the action rating?
Oh, that's literally a dot on your sheet. That's a free dot for all 3 of you.
Oh.
Yeah, so you could add another dot to Rec. You could add a dot to Tinker. Each of you would get 1 free dot as soon as you took that.
I think Deadly's pretty
for
great.
Your crew.
That's 3 dice that all of us are getting.
Skirmish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to do that, Dave?
mean, I like extra dice.
Because I don't necessarily need the workshop, and I think once we make it to tier 1, we'll get a carriage. I like the idea that we're starting out lowly, you know.
Yeah, that seems
All right, deadly.
You know,
All right, so we're taking
like-
deadly. So we just need to remind
Sweet.
LT that when he
Yep,
comes
I've made
back,
a note. It has to be
Okay.
hunt, prowl, or skirmish.
Okay.
I'm going to take hunt. Now I have 3 dots in hunt.
Just a reminder that you can't take 4 until you get special expertise training stuff.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to
What
take
are you
one in
taking,
prowl. So now I've got 2 dots in prowl and 3 dots
Nice.
in attune. So
Nice.
this was a big upgrade. session.
Big upgrade for you.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Upgraded the crew. Downtime.
Did you clear? Wait, does
Yep.
that mean that our rep gets cleared?
Nope.
Okay.
The crew advancement tracker gets cleared.
Right. Sorry. Okay.
We'll clear rep when you upgrade your tier.
Okay.
Awesome. So downtime. Let me read you the possible downtime activities. Each of you get 2 to spend as you wish. Where are they? Acquire asset, long-term project, recover, reduce heat, train, indulge vice.
I need to clear my stress. I've got 8. So
Right.
yeah.
So what you're going to do, actually, this is something to think about when you are thinking about where to put those dots that you just got. You are going to roll your lowest of insight, prowess, or resolve. So if you had put, you couldn't actually do this because your attune dot has to be in resolve, and you've already got all 4 of the first level resolve dots filled. So you can't actually make this easier on yourself this time.
That's true, but in the
But
future,
if you were to put your prowl, hunt, or whatever it is dot,
skirmish.
if you were to put it in like skirmish instead, then your lowest would be insight. And then if you were to get one in hunt later on, then your lowest would be 2 die, and you would be rolling 2 die to see how much stress you reduce.
Yeah.
But right now you're rolling 1.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm gonna take. One in. We're a killer crew. I think I'll take 1 in hunt. Well, do I want
Cool.
in hunt or skirmish?
I've got 3 in hunt.
Okay, I think I'll take 1 in skirmish.
Arva has a lot of skirmish.
Yeah, you guys
Also.
are both really good at all these. So
Yeah.
But it's helping me broaden out. So, but either way,
Yep.
I've only
Cool.
got 1
So,
here. So
Tell
how
me
does this work?
what you're going to do to indulge your vice. You have weird, right?
Is that how you reduce stress?
Yes, you indulge your vice.
Oh, see, I thought before indulging your vice was how you healed.
Nope. Healing is different.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, yes. So,
So you've got to
Kel-
tell me about. Yeah.
Kel has these pieces of flesh that he has put in the freezer. He's been stashing away little
Mhm.
bits and pieces of the flesh of his enemies that he's killed
Mhm.
in the recent past. And he goes down to the docks, down to his voodoo dealer, and gets
Yeah.
certain herbs, and goes to a place on a rock sticking out over the water at midnight when the moon is full, and builds a little fire and basically creates a ritual meal out of these strips of flesh of these former enemies. And as he eats them, he howls at the moon, and you see these arcane energies swirling around him, or maybe it's all in his head. You don't know, but he believes that he is growing stronger and that he is consuming the power of his enemies.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll me a d6.
Okay. 6.
6. Mark off 6 stress. Nice.
Okay.
You're down to 2. One more downtime activity.
So I can do things like training or starting a project, things like that.
Yep. A long-term project. Long-term projects are one of the most powerful rules in the game. You can ask me for anything. Almost unlimited. You can ask me to change the rules of the game. This is in the rules. You can ask me to make a new rule. You can ask for almost anything. And the worst that I can tell you, I can tell you that's just not possible. If you're
Sure.
I want to jump to the moon, or
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
become a dragon. Actually,
Yeah.
maybe we could do a dragon. But
Yeah.
but you can ask me for crazy stuff, and I'll be like, yeah, long-term project. And if it's insane, it'll be 12.
Sure.
So what I get to say is, we sort of negotiate over it a little bit, but we start a project clock, and you roll one of your skills to see how many pips you fill on that clock during this downtime.
Yeah, I think Kel is going, now that he has gone through this ritual where he's reduced his stress and feels like he's absorbed the powers of his enemies. I think he wants to start a project to learn to use his attune as an effective kind of means of maybe not direct combat, but mind reading, mind control. He wants to try to directly affect the ghost inside of people while they're still alive via attune. So I think Kel is looking to start, expanding his powers of attuning to the ghost field, either to basically develop psychic powers.
Cool. So I think that let me turn to, so tell me what kind of power that you, how much do you want to be able to do? Do you want to be able to make people's heads explode like they just got shot with a gun?
I think he's looking for something more tactical than that. I think he's looking for more more TP than TK, the ability to read and influence thoughts.
Okay. And are you talking about somebody who is just one person at a time?
No, because I think he would like to be able to, do things compel
so basically,
fear,
I'm looking
into a room of people, that kind of thing.
I'm looking at the magnitude chart, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to go down this and ask you a bunch of things about what this effect is going to do.
Yeah.
And the bigger it is, the longer it lasts, all this kind of thing. I'm adding up the numbers.
Sure.
And that's going to give me what tier of ability this is.
Okay.
And then that's going to go into how much you're going to have to do to be able to get this, and what the cost of it might be to you to use it.
Mm-hmm.
So a large room is 2, a closet is 0, a small room is 1. Or
Okay, so in
if
terms
we were
of
to say 1 or 2 people is 0, a small gang is like 3 to 6 people, a medium gang is 12. So, like for instance, LT's character's ability to face a to fight against a small gang on an even footing, right? That's a small gang is 1, right?
okay. In that case, yeah, probably small gang 1. Yeah.
Okay. And this would last a few moments, a few minutes, an hour, a few hours.
I think he's looking for prolonged effect, so an hour.
Okay. And how far away can these people be? Within reach, a dozen paces, a stone's throw, down the road, several blocks away, across the district.
Not within reach, but like, just in his immediate vicinity.
A dozen paces?
Yeah, because beyond that's
If
and then
it's
what's
if
the
it's
next
within reach, then you have to like actually be able to touch them to do it.
Yeah. No, I don't think this is not a touch thing. He's wanting to do this, with
Okay.
non-physical interaction.
Great. And I think that so what you want to be able to do is affect people's minds.
Wait a minute. Now, this is interesting. I think I could ask you for the ability to use a tune to drop stress mid-combat by successfully, using my attune abilities to like invest all of my stress into someone else. I don't know. Okay, whatever. That's crazy. Yes,
Yeah.
I like this. I like this idea of being able to alter people, like, read and affect people's minds, right? Yeah. Let's stick with that. Okay.
Okay. So I think that this is your tier 0 right now, and this is a very powerful ability that you're talking about. This is something that almost nobody is able to do. This is the kind of power that something like a ghost, a high level ghost or a demon might do stuff like this, and it would be like easy for them. So for you to do it at all will be real difficult. So I'll say, I think this is a 12 clock.
Okay.
And I think we should, when we establish the clock, we should define what the ability is.
Okay.
Right off the bat. So I think that the way we should define this ability, what do you think? I'm imagining that Kel can roll a tune to have the same effect as though he was rolling command, consort, or sway from on a small room full of people without actually having to talk to them or interact with them.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
How does that, is that like, so you would say, okay, I want to make these people run out of the room. And I say, okay, normally that would be a command roll, and you could not do that just with your mind, but you have this special psychic ability. So I will let you roll a tune, to use your ability to command without having to actually talk to them. And it'll be, it'll be the same. It'll be like a similar role to if you were actually commanding them.
Okay,
Right.
so I think a big part of this, though, that's the two sides of it, right? He wants to, and this is a 12, so you tell me if within a 12 this is fair. But he wants to be able to use a tune to reach out to and interact with the minds of people, and that means
Right.
like listening to their thoughts as well. So either passively listening or
So well that
acting.
how about this? How about this? I will let you pick two of two other roles besides a tune, such as sway, consort, command. So like that would be a survey role, right?
Okay.
Or a study role or a consort role to know what somebody's thinking, right?
Okay.
So you can use a tune as consort or survey, or maybe you could pick sway and study, something like that.
Right. Right. I like that. I like command because it got to go command.
Mhm.
And so study would be to study one person what would be the difference between study and survey?
Um,
It's here. So study is with the intent to gather information and apply knowledge, gain a deeper understanding to research. Survey would be sensing trouble before it happens, gathering information about opportunities or exploits.
and I think that we have
trouble, gather information about. Okay.
to do something else that will make this harder for you because it's super good. It's very powerful. So I think we should do something like how in crafting, there are things called drawbacks. I think we need to come up with a drawback of some kind to doing this.
Okay.
But let me write down the description here.
Okay. So I don't think. Okay, so it's going to be command, and I would guess
command or study.
I think it's study. Gather information such that I'm coming out with like applicable knowledge. Yeah, like gather. Well, actually, maybe it is survey. So study would be to sit there and try to like pick through their thoughts and like come away with some sort of bit of information, whereas survey would be I'd be able to like right there on the spot know what they're intending to do, be able to like know what they're about to try to do, come up with some sort of vulnerability that could be exploited, that kind of thing. I'm going to flip a coin here because both of those seem interesting. Well, I don't know. There seems to be... I'm trying to think what's the real difference between these. I think it's survey, right? Because I don't think that this is the ghost field, right? This is not Kel sitting there opening their mind like a book. This is using the ghost field to like, read the energy of their body, read the surface level thoughts of like, oh my gosh, I've got the gun in my pocket. I'm going to have to draw this quickly. Like, and I'll know that he's got a gun in his pocket kind of thing. I think it's survey, command and survey.
Awesome. Let me propose. Hold on. I need to find just to get the wording down correctly. I need to find this magnitude chart again. I lost it. Here we go, page 220. So we said that the range should be like a stone's throw, or more like a dozen paces. Josh?
Yeah, I mean, he's not trying to affect people. He wants to be effective at this at not immediate right there, and probably also not just like the bare minimum, but like, you know, just this tiniest bit of like actual range to this, because they could be in a large room.
So a stone's throw.
Yeah, it would suck if this is like only people who are basically right out of reach of him. He wants it to be people who are, but not like,
Great.
you know, people on the other side of the city, or, you know, like out of sight, you know, way down on the other side of the city block.
Sweet.
That's
so
not
let's talk about drawbacks. Here's the drawback that I'll propose.
Okay.
I will say that and
Every
you
time.
can definitely propose a different drawback.
Sure.
You know, this is like a what do we think would be cool, but
Yeah.
also not too, you know, not game breakingly powerful.
Sure. Sure.
So I think this is super powerful. It lets you do a lot of stuff, like with very little risk, because you can just like hide somewhere and like command people. So I think the way that we restore that balance is by putting it in the description. This is always risky.
Mm-hmm.
Like the attune roll is always risky and risks level 1 harm spirit burn. So
Okay,
anytime you do
spirit
this,
burn. Okay. Interesting.
anytime you do this, you are risking level 1 harm.
Right.
Even if otherwise the roll would be controlled, because you're like hiding in a closet, like psychically surveying the ghost field from afar.
Okay, I'll see you spirit burn and raise you. It's a two-way street. Whatever he's trying to do to somebody else, if he fails, he could have it turned back upon him, like somebody else.
Oh, so the thing that he's trying to do to somebody happens, like if he's trying to command somebody, he opens up a channel to them, and like they're able to command him as well.
Yeah, so basically he's like mind melding with them and like concentrating so hard that like he's tricking them into doing it because he's thinking this thought himself.
Yeah. Okay. So but what I want to put into the description of this ability is that this roll is always at least risky, and it carries the risk that the thing that he's trying to do to the other person will happen to him as well.
Yeah, if he fails, right?
Right. That's what risk is.
Yeah.
I mean, on a 4 or a 5, you know, then the risk happens.
So if I do that, can I reduce it from 12 because I've made myself so much more vulnerable? Because that's not just spirit burn, and that's giving you a pretty big story hook.
It's a great story hook, but you did ask for like, it's like a 6-tier thing.
Okay. Fair enough.
The
Okay.
small gang, large rooms, stone's throw distance, and having like a strong effect
Yeah.
is
Okay.
like it's like
Yeah.
a 6-tier thing.
Yeah,
So
no, that's fair. That's fair. So it's 12. I like this more than Spirit Burn because I think worse things are going to happen to me, but I think it's going to be a more interesting story.
this roll is always at least risky and carries the risk that Kel will also endure the effect he is attempting to impose.
Mm-hmm. Now, my alternative consequence would be that every time he fails, he gets even more handsome until eventually he becomes so good looking that he can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Without-
Okay. The next thing we need a name for this cool ability. Psychic waves, ghost field sense, spirit power.
Ghost
What do you think
Mind.
this should be called? Ghost mind is already a thing.
Oh, okay. Mind Ghost? Yeah.
Ghost
I
Mind
think
2.
Psychic influence,
Yeah, I think this is
spirit influence.
Ultra Ghost Mind.
Yeah, there you go, Ultra Ghost. Yeah, so survey and command. I don't know that I'm going to be able to make something off of those two, but yeah, I think that
Spirit influence, spirit domination.
Yeah, I like that. Spirit domination. Yeah.
Okay, so for your second downtime activity, you're going to work on your long-term project to learn spirit domination. Currently 0 out of 12. You can roll whatever skill you would use for that. I suspect that that's going to be attune.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and tell me what you get when you roll attune.
Okay. Uh, 4, 4, 5.
All right, so that's 2 segments on this clock. You can spend a coin to upgrade that to 3 segments, but that's probably not worth it. You could also spend a coin to get another downtime and roll again.
Yeah.
So I think 2 segments. Right now, I'm keeping all the clocks in a like a Word document, and it's not the best way to do it. I think there's a way to share this with you. Oh yeah, I can put a clock on your sheet, can't I? Yes. Kel learns spirit domination.
Oh, there we go.
This is a 12 clock, 2 filled. There we
Okay.
go.
So I've used 2 so far to spend a coin and make another roll because I really want to get this going. Another 5, so that's 2 more, I take it.
Yep.
Okay. Are you filling those in or am I?
I'll do it. There we go.
Okay. Very good. Sir.
4 out of 12. Great. All right. Dave,
Progress.
what is Elena doing for downtime?
Okay, so
Acquire asset, long-term project, recover, reduce heat, train, indulge vice.
acquire asset, long-term project. So like, what kind of things can I use coin for? I mean, could I use coin to? You just said like I could use a coin to get an extra downtime action.
Yep. So
Okay.
coin can be used to get an extra downtime action. It can also be used to increase the effect level of something that you're doing on downtime. So for instance, if you wanted to heal yourself and you got a 4-5, so it was 2 points on the clock. You could up that to a 6 to get three ticks on the healing clock.
Okay.
With a coin. The other thing in the game is that your character can stash coin, and when when your character retires from a life of crime, their life satisfaction depends on how much coin they have in their stash. So if you look at where your coin is, you can see that there's a stash below there. And every time you reach the end of one of those, you see how there's four rows?
Yeah.
Each one of those rows represents like one level of wealth. So currently you're like 0 wealthy. And if you were to stop your life of crime now, you would live like homeless the rest of your life. Tier 0 lifestyle. For each row of stash that you fill up, that's another point of lifestyle.
Okay. So
sort of your character's goal in the game is to increase the amount of stash that you have.
Right. So I think I probably want to do one to heal, to work to try and get this cut.
Okay.
I've got
So
this harm
somebody in your crew knows a healer.
Oh.
And he's a level 1 healer. So you can go there and have this ally help you. His name is Sawtooth. And roll 1d6, and that will tell you how many ticks on the progress clock you make. If it's a 1 to 3, it's 1 tick. 4 or 5, it's 2 ticks. 6, it's 3 ticks.
Okay. I will do that.
When you fill up the healing progress clock, all of your harm is reduced by 1, and level 1 harm drops off and goes away.
Okay. All of my harm is reduced by 1.
So right now you only have 1 level 1 harm.
Okay. Is that, I don't know. Is that a big deal? Like, is that worth doing now? What do you guys think?
I'm not sure exactly what the rule is. I feel like I've seen it both ways. I thought it was that if you have both of your level 1 harms filled, then you get that consequence that's listed there, less effect, so that when you roll, I have to tell you, okay, well, normally this would be standard effect, but you've got a cut on your thigh and your spirit burned, so this is actually less effect.
Okay.
I think I saw somewhere that if you have any level 1 harm, you get that less effect. That is not how I've seen it played, and it seems extreme to me. So I think right now you don't have any consequences from your thigh cut, but if you do get another level 1 harm, you will have consequences from it.
I think I will use my first one. I'll do some stress reduction.
Okay, you're gonna indulge your vice. What is your vice?
Invite some wolves over to the house.
Okay, yeah, that's risky enough that I'll say it counts. Yeah, so roll 1d6. Your lowest feature is resolve, and you have one pip in that.
So I get 1d6.
1d6 to reduce stress. If you roll a 6, you will overindulge.
Oh, okay.
Because you only have 5 stress right now.
Oh, so if I had 6 stress, I wouldn't have to worry about overindulging.
Yep.
Oh, I wonder if would it be better to wait then?
Well, if you wait, then it means that this next score, you only have 3 stress that you can take. And then if you take a 4th stress, you'll be traumatized. It's not necessarily that bad to get traumatized.
I have an extra stress box.
Oh, and you have that extra stress box.
Yeah.
Well, it's up to you. This is a strategic decision.
Oh boy.
I cannot make it for you.
I don't know how to live my life. I am afraid of overindulging, so I'm not going to do that.
Okay. You can also do things like train.
Yeah.
I think the crew has a special thing for training.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the insight and prowess training. My resolve is not great, but I don't get as good of training for that if I do it. And I've already got ticks in my prowess. So maybe I will... Maybe I will train. I'll just, I'll keep working on my prowess. That's fine, I guess. Okay, I'll do I'm going to train prowess. That's
Okay.
my first thing.
How does training work? Oh, train, you just say I'm going to train and you mark 1 XP.
Oh. But
Yeah, you just mark 1 XP on it.
do we get a bonus for...
Oh yeah, and because of the crew thing, you get 2 XP
Boop. Okay.
instead of 1. Yeah.
So without having to actually take a desperate action in game, you're getting a couple of pips on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then I kind of want to work on a... I kind of want to work on... You know what? I think I want to be a little proactive. I'm going to do the healing thing. So I roll a die for the healing, right?
Yes, you're going to go and visit Sawtooth, and
Okay.
yeah.
So I roll a die for healing, and I got a 1. Huzzah! That's
mark 1 tick on your healing progress clock.
That is, oops. Oh, there we go. 1
There
tick.
you go.
Okay. And then
And that's your two. That's your two downtime activities.
I'm thinking about... Actually, so I'm kind of thinking about my long-term project, but I'm not sure the best way to do it. And
what do you want to do?
Well, I think I want to talk to you about it off camera.
Cool.
I might want to I might want to spend a coin to get time to work on it, depending on how we build.
That's fine.
So I'll just talk to you about that off camera.
Yeah, cool.
Can we finish downtime at the beginning of our next time that we're together, but consider that it's just, the same?
Yeah, sure. We finished now, but it's because Dave has used both of his. But it would be fine with me if we sort of, retcon it a little bit and do a little more downtime before next time's score.
Okay. This game
No
is
problem.
so cool.
It's
I
a great
love
game.
the way that it flows. It's so funky and it just flows so differently compared to all these other games where the core mechanic focuses around these are your skills and you roll these dice to, generate a big enough number. This is so different. I love it.
And all that I prepared for this score was like, I read through the book a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with the world.
Yeah.
And I made up 1 sentence.
Yeah.
Your patron, a member of the brigade is trying to unionize. Your patron is on the city council and wants you to assassinate that person. And the game sort of did the rest and made like a very detailed assassination plot with that, it's very collaborative. I love it. It was like something you would see on a TV show.
Yeah.
With the fake letter and
These
and the fact that they're
in the middle of it.
Yeah. The fact that there are things that go better for you when poorly as a player means that there's no arms race between you and the storyteller / GM to try to cheese it or pull one over on them. There's just, I'm not concerned with trying to be more clever than you and getting away with stuff so that I'll win. It's fun when I fail. You know,
Yeah.
it's fun to see the characters deal with the failure. It just makes you approach the whole story very differently. With these other game systems that are so focused on your abilities and are you beating the other guy, you get, especially with the existence of video games, you get sucked into that default, power mode mentality. Yeah. Love it. So cool.
I think I often, like with other role playing systems, one of my frustrations, I think, is often just feeling shackled by the mechanics and like
Right.
by what you can do.
Yeah.
And, and I'm sort of like, I'm building a character and I have these skills and I'm like, I want to do this thing. And it's like, no, you can't. But I don't know.
This is,
you can
you
really
say,
be creative.
You say what you're doing and, pretty much everything fits into one of the skills if you're doing it as part of a heist. And if it fits into the world, if it's something that works for the city of Duskwall, then, you can do it.
It also feels a little easier too to sort of just find find a solution, not even just to like your own problems, but to like the narrative. Because like, I don't know, another thing is sort of in other games, I find myself getting stuck where I'm like, I feel like my character would be able to do something because he's really smart, but I'm not quite that smart, so I don't know what to do. But here, you're just I don't know, you can just kind of spitball something and someone else can throw something in and
you
just kind of cobble together.
It's very
situation.
It's collaborative. You cobble it together. It becomes a story. Yeah. And one thing I've been really surprised by, I mean, I guess I've only played it 3 times, but I've been very surprised by how fair it feels. It feels like it's easy for me to be fair to you guys, even when I'm imposing consequences on you. You know that it's because you rolled. You rolled a 1. The rules say that you get stabbed in the leg, bro.
Yeah.
It's not like that's not fair. It's like it is fair. It's absolutely fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it fair is the volatility, right? If we crit fail, something bad gonna happen to us.
It's like, well,
right.
I mean,
well,
like
also because
I pushed that roll. Like I was like,
you said it's desperate.
I want to take a desperate action here.
Right.
So
and
like,
I say beforehand, desperate, and then you roll and it's a failure. Well, you have a knife in your thigh now.
Yeah.
That's what desperate means.
If I hadn't done a desperate action, I wouldn't have. It might, like, the consequence.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably would have been, fairly minor, but like that fits.
And I think all that hinges on the fact that with D&D or any D20 system, or really most systems, there's just a difficulty class. There's not a consequence level. And so you've got to get ranges of numbers to get a sufficiently granular comes to make it feel elegant. Whereas with this, we're dealing with 1 through 6 in terms of the numbers. These aren't stacking on each other. You're not adding it up. They're not exploding. But that 6 means a lot. That 1 is super bad. And there are a couple of different levels. So you're looking at a real simple little instead of a long
it's not even
out
6. It's only 3. It's really it's just fail, like full fail, and
moderate
then
success,
succeed with consequences, mixed success, and then succeed without consequences. So it's really just a Venn diagram, like full failure and then full success, and then in between is like both success and failure. Yeah.
Much better than just having a cutoff of you make it or you don't.
Yeah.
Just that simple little change over the whole world of.
Well, in the 4 and the 5, because the consequence often moves it forward.
Right. which is great. I love the idea of the players clawing forward and making some amount of success while being punished. I mean, just is such a fantastic storytelling device, in the hands of the GM. So
Yeah, and the whole thing with being able to just like we did the whole like if that was a dungeon, if this was Dungeons and Dragons, you guys could have spent this whole time just planning what you were going to do. Not doing it.
That's
And
true.
then-
You're not allowed to. You're not
And then you would
allowed
have
to
jumped into it.
Yep.
And then you would have jumped into it and found out that all of your plans were meaningless because
Yep.
I had written a different dungeon than you thought.
Yep. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But this one, you jump into it first, you plan afterwards. You find out what the obstacles are along the way. I was really listening to it
We
on
dumped a
on
dude
other
out a
people's
window that
podcasts.
we-
That's right.
Didn't even know it's there.
It was there the whole time.
Turns out you scoped this place out because you wanted a window there. Of course.
And I will say
team.
that whole malleability of time jumping
Oh, it's great.
flashback is. I know there's so many
Yeah.
great in writing and literature and storytelling, but honestly, flashback really is one of my favorites. I fell in love with it when we were studying the Iliad and the Odyssey. It's such a compelling way of telling stories, and it turns out that's backed up by science. They did these studies with people, they told them what was going to happen at the end of the story and then put them through the story, and they tracked their neurological levels of like stimulation and satisfaction, and they found higher levels of stimulation and satisfaction in the people who had an idea about where it was going, because then they were doing so much more pattern matching and pattern and recognition inference leading. And so
Trying to connect the dots.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think that whole flashback thing, changing the way the DM and the players are experiencing time in the story,
Yeah.
it just makes it so much more
interesting.
flexible.
And it's
so much
not
better.
and it's not that time is flexible in the story. As
Right.
soon as like if we say in the fiction that something has happened, that's happened.
Mhm.
That's real. We can't undo it.
It's on the
but-
timeline.
It's on the timeline, but we
Yeah.
can go back to a time that we didn't narrate, during the planning phase or while you were preparing for the thing or yesterday, and say something else
you
that
can-
happened,
I
add
mean, like-
context.
The thing's on the timeline, but you can add or subtract stuff to it. Like, you're in a room, we were in a room, and then we added a window.
Yeah.
Yeah, but really,
It's like-
the window was always there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It was
Right.
always there. Yeah, so it's a great game. It's a lot of fun to play. It is kind of amazing to me that that I feel like that was a really fun adventure
Yeah.
that we just had, and it was
Mhm.
like it was very
And we
easy.
had a sentence kick off the story. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.